Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Candy Shop, my candy caners. So sorry that StreamYard is still being weird and not syncing correctly, but we are still gonna do it. We are still here. So thank you so much to all my beautiful candy canes for showing up, and thank you for everyone who will be watching this on the replay. So be sure to subscribe and like and hit that notification bell so you all can join us when we go live. So let's say hi to everyone who's already here, my lovely candy canes. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Sharon Redmond. She goes, hello, baby love. Hey, love. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see here. Hey, Sasha T. You said, hey, Candy, is it just me or did Candace's stepdaughter look real uncomfortable with her? I can't believe Giselle gave that baby her coat like she was the help. I know, that was a real special moment, and we will definitely get into it, but it wasn't just you, Sasha. I agree 100%. It was bizarre, and Candace's stepdaughter did seem very uncomfortable, and Giselle kind of like throwing her coat at her was a bit, it was just weird and it was bizarre. But before we dive into everything, I also wanted just to say to all of my candy canes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for your love and for your support over the last few days with everything that was going on with Blaine and Avatar Monica. That's not what we're going to talk about today, but I did just want to say thank you to all of you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your love, and I always promise that I will have a thick skin, but never a bitter spirit. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you. I love you, candy canes. We are going to keep building our candy cane community, and we're going to keep rising and shining, and we're not going to let anyone steal our joy. So I just wanted to say thank you to every one of you for your love and your support. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box before we dive into it. Yes, yes. Oh, the chats are coming through. Domino says, I can't wait for this. LOL. Me too. I can't wait, you guys. I'm so excited. Sunny T says, hey, Candy and the Candy Canes. Hey, Sunny T, what is up? Kaylin is showing some love. Yes, yes, yes. Our candy cane, Darren Hood, is in the house. He says, hey. Yes, our Mocha Deluxe is in the candy shop. She says, hey, Candy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see who else is in the room. Jessica Hardy says, hey, Candy. Hey, Jessica. Hey, beautiful. Yes, I love that photo. Girl, you better work. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, Tunisia. She says, hey, Candy. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to you too, sweetheart. Absolutely. HU Angel 1 says, hi. Hello, hello. Yes, I cannot wait to get into it today. Absolutely. Tonight, Hazel says, hey, babes. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it as you guys all are coming in here. Our girl Kamiko says, hey, Candy and the Candy Canes. I love it. Black Girl Magic says, hey, Candy Canes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Black Girl Magic, for all of the love. Our Young Rich says, Candy Shop. Candace is becoming one of my faves housewives at Reckless Mouth. She was wild and it wasn't even 2 minutes in the show. Wide booty ASS. Why she tell a pregnant Ashley that? Well, she told a pregnant Ashley that because she's reckless, just like you said, with her mouth, and she has no filter and she has no bottom. But we are going to get into it. Mysteria says, hey, hey, hey. Yes, yes, yes. Queen Third Eye says, hey, Candy. Hey, sweetheart. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes. Ooh, you guys are all coming in here. Diane Gordon, the vocalist, says, hey, Candy and the Candy Canes. Goddess Isis says, what's up? Yes, what's up? I love it. Reparation says, hey, Candy, mods in chat. Yes, I love it. You guys keep me on my toes. Let me know what is going on. Yes, and let's see here. Pearl Reflection 1909 says, hey, Candy. Hey, sweetheart. I love it. I love it. I love it. Queen C says, hello, Candy. Thank you, sweetheart. Yolanda Franklin says, hello from Maryland. Candy is going to learn the hard way. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Yes, and Tanisha says, I love you, Candy. I love you, too. All right. So now that we have gone through some of the people in the chat, and for everybody else who's coming in, I will show you some love. Abby Al says, hey, Candy. Franchette Greer Eskridge says, hey, Candy. Hello, hello. Yes, Black Girl Magic says every time I watch, I have a piece of candy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's dive in, guys. Let's dive in. So the first thing that I wanted to say about the premiere is that this is what it looks like when production does their job. And the talent is actually, well, maybe not all of the talent, but the majority of the talent is on board and ready to understand the assignment. I thought it did a really good job of setting up everybody's storyline for the rest of the season. And so I thought they did a really good job with that. Like, everybody doesn't have the strongest storyline, but it's clear what everyone's storyline is, right? So it's clear that Wendy's whole storyline is going to be around feeling betrayed by Giselle, figure out if Eddie is really cheating on her, and her like whole body makeover and what that really means and looks like, right? Robin's storyline is going to be about whether or not she's actually ever going to get married, and her low-grade depression because of COVID. And I only use the word depression, not to diagnose anyone. And again, everything we talk about is alleged, for entertainment purposes, opinion-based. So I'm not diagnosing her with that. I'm just saying, based on the symptoms that she said, it sounds like she was having quarantine fatigue and a little bit of low-grade depression, which everyone, I think, suffered from either to greater or lesser degrees. So that's kind of going to be her storyline, along with like what's really going on with Juan. Giselle's storyline is really about sort of her looking a little unstable and unsettled with the whole Jamal stuff and going after Karen, being, you know, Karen's arch nemesis. And so Karen's storyline is going to battle with Giselle while also doing her battle renewal, or so nice we had to do it twice, with Ray. Mia's storyline is going to be the new girl, figuring her out, you know, what side she'll ultimately end up on. Ashley, of course, is whether or not Michael will be faithful, and her being pregnant with her second child, but she needs to like not be pregnant next season. We kind of like, it's kind of like, children are a bundle of joy, but like we kind of want, I don't want to see another pregnant Ashley after this season for a minute. So that's kind of her storyline. And who are we missing from the girls of that? Is that all of the girls? And Candace. And then Candace's storyline is clearly damage control. It seems like to me like she's trying to revamp her poor reputation with this whole stepchild bonus kid stuff. And then whether her or not her career, her musical career, will take off with Chris being her manager. So those are kind of the core storylines that the premiere set up. So now let's break it down for each pairing or each couple of people. So let's see here. Oh, another thing I observed, and let me observed, and let me know if you guys think this is true or not. Did you guys get a Monique Binder Times vibe from the opening credits and from the interludes, where it was almost like Wendy pretending to be Monique with like, and on this season, what we discovered was you can't always trust people, or who are your friends? Don't watch what they say, watch what they do. I was like, wait a minute, is this the Real Housewives of Potomac, or is this a bonus episode of Binder Times? Like, I was like, wait a minute, because they were like rhyming and doing riddles, and she was talking in this voice like she was like reading like a bedtime story. I was like, hold on. Are you guys trying to like not shade Monique, but almost like Monique to me was there without being there? Because it really reminded me of Binder Times, where it was just, Wendy was just like, and you'll never know who's around the corner, a friend or a foe. Like, it just really seemed like it was like Binder Times. I was like, y'all need to leave Monique alone. She's off the show, leave her alone. And then another thing I thought that was weird with Monique and Wendy, I was like, Monique literally is single Black female. Well, not single, but you know what I mean. She, to me, seemed like she was trying to morph into Monique. Like, even with her invitation that she sent, where, you know, it was sort of like really sexy and silhouette, and she was like dancing and all that stuff. It reminded me of Monique's video that she did. I forgot what it was called, something like Slay or something like that, or what was it called? Drag or something like that. Remember when she did her like therapy music video to like get out her emotions about the fight that she had with Candace? And it was all sexy and silhouettes and dancing. I was like, wait a minute. Wendy, is this your invitation to your nude interlude party, or is this, you know, sort of lost footage, you know, bonus footage from Monique's music video? It was giving me those kind of vibes. Drag queens, thank you, Sasha. Oh yes, thank you, Hugh Angel 1. Yes, drag queens, right? I was like so confused. And then Wendy's plastic surgery, she's admitted to her boob job. So her other stuff, I will say allegedly, in my opinion, again, not fact, just my opinion, just alleged from my own eyes, it seems as though she may have gotten, you know, her butt lifted or some butt implants or injections in there. Definitely, it seemed like she got some liposuction around her tummy, her thighs, maybe some like toning. Also, definitely her face looked different, whether it's fillers or Botox or like a nose shaving or something along those lines. But she definitely got more than just the boob job. And her skin also kind of looked, oh, thank you so much, and for this, and Houghton for the super chat. Thank you so much. That's right, you guys. If you're in here, or if you are in here, be sure to like and subscribe and support. And just thank you so much for watching and spending this time with me. Yes. Oh, a young Rich is saying Wendy said she got a BBL on Twitter last night. Brazilian butt lift. Yeah, I mean, because when Shady Production showed her butt, her old butt versus her new butt, it was 100%. Like you couldn't make it up. Like it was what it was, right? So to me, she was kind of morphing into, Monique didn't have that like voluptuous figure, right? Like she kind of had like the boobs, but she was always like really thin and tiny. But it just seemed like Wendy was kind of trying to like morph into her, and how she was saying how like, oh, now you guys can see the real me. And she was trying to like dance and be a little bit ratchet. And it was just like, calm down, Wendy. You're doing the absolute most. Like, relax. It's not that serious. Like it's like you're on TV. You're on a reality show. You got plastic surgery. That is literally like the blueprint. It's like what everybody does. The difference is the majority of people who do it actually own it. And they don't pretend like they got one thing done, but tweaks on other things. For example, if you guys watch the Real Housewives of New Jersey, one of my favorites, what is her name, you guys? You guys have to help me with her name. She's Black Dolores. So she's not actually black. That's what Wendy Williams calls her. So Dolores was very transparent and honest about all of the plastic surgery she did. She was like, I got a tummy tuck, I got lipo, I got vaginal rejuvenation, I got this, I got that. And she was like, and welcome, here I am. I got a butt thing, To me, when you own it, it is so much more powerful, and we are way more likely to co-sign you on it, right? And that's kind of what happened if you watched her interaction between her and Mia at the dinner party. So when Mia was like, oh, like, what do you have done? She was like, oh, you know, it's like my breasts and some tweaks. And she's like, yeah, but like, what are the tweaks? And she's like, well, what have you have done? Wendy. With all of your 4 degrees, is none of them in psychology. You cannot, and I say this with love, you cannot throw a party that is literally only about you getting a boob job and to show off your new plastic surgery, and then get defensive and defended when your guests ask you, what else have you had done? And then not be transparent about the things that you've gotten done. Thank you so much, Gen X, for the super chat. She goes, I'm just tired of these folks treating the viewers like our eyes don't work. Just made her look dishonest. Exactly. That is thank you so much, Gen X, for that, because you are 100% right. That is exactly what I'm talking about. We're not crazy. The camera doesn't lie. So for you to come on here and then be defensive and not transparent, to me, it just makes you look really crazy and very dishonest. And it's like, if you are literally throwing a party to show off your fake boobs, what is the problem with being honest about everything else that you've gotten done? And I loved Mia's response. She was like, yeah, I've gotten stuff done, but I own it. And then she went off her whole list of everything that she's done. And then to me, the girls shading her when she said that she had gotten, her CC honeypot worked on down below, kitty cat, whatever. When she said that she had gotten work done on that, the women's responses to me, I was just like, y'all need to stop. All of y'all need to stop because all of them probably have had something done. And then also when it's on the other franchises, right? When it's like New Jersey, and Dolores is talking about that she had vaginal rejuvenation, which to me is pretty much the same thing what Mia was saying. It's celebrated. And none of the girls are like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. It's more of like, ooh, girl, who did you go to? They talk about it all the time on the OC about their vaginal rejuvenation. All of these plastic surgeons doing these procedures are all working with the women probably for free for exposure. So it's not this big thing. And also, I didn't like their reaction because they were trying to shame and put a stigma on a woman just taking care of her body. You know, if it's no big deal to get a nose job, if it's no big deal to get a butt job or some lipo or a BBL, then why can't women take care of their lady parts the way that they want to? If you want it to look a certain way, and just because it will improve how you feel about yourself, why not? To me, it's all about intentionality. You're not doing it to be worthy of love or any of those things. You already love yourself, but you just want to make it a nip and a tuck. And then also, like Mia said, when you have children, your body does change. You know what I've never had kids, but I can understand a woman whose body changes by having children, right? So to me, the main person I took issue with was Ashley. Because do y'all remember last season when Ashley sat up there at a dinner or a lunch or whatever it was and told everybody that she had a torn booty hole because of it was a complication after giving birth and everything, that her booty hole had was torn in it. Ashley, did you get plastic surgery to help out your torn booty hole? But you want to sit here and drag a woman talking about, what did she say? Like, it must have been like ran down or punched down or something like that. She was trying to allude that Mia must have had a lot of sexual partners in order to have needed that type of surgery on her vaginal rejuvenation or whatever it was. So Ashley, how dare you try and shame another woman who is being honest and transparent about what happened to her body in general, but in particular during childbirth. And then she was honest about the steps that she took to correct it when literally you were talking to anyone who would listen about your torn booty hole. Like, I can't, right? I can't. Ashley, and to anybody else, don't shame women. If we want to get a procedure done, any procedure, don't try and act like it's because we are the S word or the W words, or we're fast, or we let men run through us. Like, that really left a bad taste in my mouth. And I usually do like Ashley. Sure, she can do low blows, but like, don't try and call another woman, she's been ran through, because she literally just told you she has 3 children, and that after the having the children, she wanted to get those surgeries done. Like, and you're pregnant and you're about to pop. So you better hope and pray that like nothing happens to like your vagina or your booty hole again when you're about to pop out a baby yourself. Would you want someone to call you all these nasty words if you decided to get your body repaired after giving birth? Anyway, let me get off of that soapbox. Okay, so what else is going on? Okay, so we talked about Monique and kind of being like a single Black female when it comes to, or we talked about Wendy almost being like single Black female when it came to Monique. That was insane. And then let's also talk about her and Eddie, because I feel like she was kind of the central person for the episode. Like she had the nude interlude party. So let's talk about that. Was anybody else cringing? And I mean cringing when they gave the 2 boys the nipple cupcake. Like, giving them the nipple cupcake in and of itself to me wasn't a problem. It's a cupcake, it's chocolate, I'm sure it's delicious. But when both of them, her and Eddie, and they kind of like laughed and cackled and was like, what do you guys think it is? What do you guys think it is? Like, did you think that your little children, your sons was going to be like, Papa, Mama, I think that I'm eating the chocolate cupcake version of my mother's titties. Like, mind blown. Like, I was cringing in my soul when I saw that. Like, what if the children actually understood what it was? Like, you're asking me to eat a dessert version of my mother's breast. Like, did anybody else think that was so weird? And then when the boys, it's because of course they're just like children. They're like, I don't know, chocolate? Like, what do you expect? And then Eddie was just like, that's right. Like, stay innocent or keep your youth. Or he says something really weird and whack. And I'm just like, Eddie, you literally just asked your sons what they thought that they were eating when what they were eating was the cupcake version of your wife's breast. Where they do that at? That blew my mind. And I sort of like cackled with it. And it just, I don't know. It was just really cringy to me. Like, it would be one thing if you just gave your kid like, oh, sweeties, mommy's having a party with the girls. Be good for daddy. Here's some cupcakes. Here's some candy. Here's some snacks. Here's some cake. Go off and have fun and play. But to be like, what do you think it is? What if they really were like, I think it's mommy's titties? Like, it's so cringy. It's so cringy. So that was that, right? So we talked about Wendy, we talked about Eddie and the kids and the cupcakes and her insecurities and being defensive about, again, this is a PSA to you, Wendy. Don't have parties about an issue that you are deeply, deeply insecure and defensive about, right? Like, if you can't be 100% honest and authentic and transparent about the work that you've done, don't have a party about your boob job. Just don't do it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if I had a really deep-rooted insecurity about myself, the last thing I would do would be to throw a party to celebrate that insecurity and then get defensive when somebody asks me about it. I don't know. Oh, but speaking of Mia, since she was the one who she got defensive with, and I loved how Mia was just like, I do Botox fillers, lipo, and I'll probably get more. I was just like, this is a girl that I would hang out with. Like, Mia is my speed. I really like Mia. But with that being said, remember the math, and she couldn't do it with like her husband. She's like, my husband is 68 and he's 30 years older than, or and he's 38 years older than me. And all the girls were like, so you're 30? And she's like, oh no, I'm 36. I guess he's maybe it's 32. You know what I think that was? I think Mia's probably definitely older than 36 maybe. And her husband may or may not be older than 68. And I don't mind her fibbing about her age, because I think that, if we're going to be real and we're going to be honest, we live in a very ageist and sexist society. Women are always judged about their age, constantly judged by your age. And it's primarily women that are judged by their age, less so than men. A woman is completely judged by her age. So, and, Mia does work in, joint chiropractic. I don't think maybe that so much plays into it, but, she's like one of these girls. She's really pretty. She's like on Instagram and she's on the show. So clearly she wants some type of entertainment aspirations. So she probably doesn't want to lose out on certain opportunities because she'll get aged out of them. And that is just the truth. A woman could be talented and beautiful. She could look at you and she says, if she's 21, she has a lot more opportunities than if she's 31 or 41 or 51 or whatever the case may be, because that is just the society that we live in. And that is just the truth. So I don't mind her fibbing about her age. Mia, the only thing I want to tell you is, girl, get those dates and numbers memorized in your mind, right? If you are going to fib about your age and your husband's age and how long it is, yes, you know the real numbers. But when you're in those social settings and you get put on it, let it flow like as if it was the truth. Like if you were being put on the spot. So you can say, oh yeah, my husband is 70 and he's 34 years older than me and I'm 36 or whatever the math is. My math might be wrong too, so don't come at me for that because that was just on the fly. But like, girl, Mia, I love you, Mia. I love your energy. I think that you are going to be a really dynamic and great addition to the show. And I'm really excited to see what happens. But girl, get your dates right so you don't get caught out there, because now we're all talking about your age. And I'm sure, and I'm not going to do it because I'm not one of those people I'm not a person that wants to out anybody or shame anybody. So now that you put it out there, I'm sure even maybe some of your cast members or other people are going to try and deep dive and figure out what your age is and call you out and all that stuff. We're not doing that at the candy shop. We're not doing that over here. I just want to say to you, I have no problem with you fibbing about your age. Just get the numbers on lock. So the next time someone comes at you with that question, you can come right back with it, because I don't want you to lose opportunities by being aged out, because that's just the world that we live in. So that's what I was going to say about them. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Hey, Appy News. Hey, beautiful. Hey, beautiful Marcella. I'm not going to put that comment up, Marcella, but I love you so much. I love you, girl. I love you. Hey, Rostom. Okay. Rhonda Cut goes, oh my. Hey, B. Okay, I love you guys. So let's see what else. Let's talk about Karen and Giselle. Let's get into that. Or you know what? Actually, let's do Ashley and Michael first, because that's a quicker recap. To me, Ashley and Michael are doing nothing but damage control, and that's it. Basically, what I got from Ashley's segments was, the last time I was pregnant, I was naive that my husband was going to be faithful, and he ended up cheating. Now that I'm pregnant again, I don't really care to have sex with him. As long as he tells me that he's having sex with other people, I'm cool with it. Like, that to me is basically what Ashley said. She was like, last time I got the okie doke and I got embarrassed. This time around, just don't embarrass me. Keep me in the loop and keep it out of Instagram and Twitter and on the YouTube streets. That's basically the gist I got from it. She's like, Michael, I'm not sleeping with you. I don't care who does. Just don't embarrass me this time. So that is what I got from Ashley. And then just damage control, because, Michael has had a history of allegedly inappropriately touching certain people and his marriage indiscretions. So this time it just seemed to me like Ashley was just like, he is such a great husband. Ashley, Michael Darby is amazing. He is the best father. He is the best father. We're doing therapy. We're going to communicate. It's going to be better this time. Like, it just seemed to me like she got her key PR messages out trying to do damage control. And to me, Michael just sort of seemed like, well, whatever. Like, he just kind of seemed like, well, okay, cool. Like, another season. Here we go. Like, I'm always the punching bag. Like, I'm ready for it. So I actually like Michael. All of the allegations aside, I can not like certain things about a person, but still like that person. Do I believe the people who have made allegations against them? My default is just always to believe people. So I'm not condoning what he did or may not have done, or allegedly may or may not have done. So I don't want to make little of that, but I still kind of like Michael. Like, he's kind of I like to watch the weird things he does. I don't know. Maybe that makes me bad, but I like to watch the weird stuff he does. I don't know. So let's see here. Laughiness is Michael and Juan. ... Woo! Okay, so since you brought up Juan, let's go to Robin and Juan. Can we have a moment of silence for the 30 seconds that we actually thought Juan and Robin were going to get remarried? If you actually did. Moment of silence. Okay, so Robin and Juan, he just looked completely disengaged. Like, that was like the boat. Hey, Tubi Black Native. She goes, loved your film on Amazon last night. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Yay, we could talk about that too. Thank you so much, Tubi Native. Okay. So, yeah. So Robin and Juan, right? So to me, Juan looked completely checked out. Like Juan was like, I am done even phoning this in for you. He just looked completely emotionally and mentally completely checked out from the relationship, checked out from filming, checked out from Robin. I don't know what went down, because I think last season they did at least have a united front with this whole let's get the storyline of us getting remarried came out. Maybe Juan's alleged girlfriend, again, this is alleged. I just heard this on the streets. I am not saying this is true. I am not saying this is fact. This is just alleged based on what has been said on other platforms and by other people. So it's going to be very clear. It's just alleged, not a fact. That's it. That he had some girlfriends, like maybe she got really upset. But it just, to me, you could just see he was like very short. He had one answers and he just looked at her with like disdain. Like, yeah. And I think whatever it is that's going on is blocking him from seeing that she's not in a good place, you know, sleeping all day and like just ordering fast food for the kids and not being motivated. And I want to believe that's the truth. I don't want to believe that she's just saying that for a storyline. So right now I'm going to give Robin the benefit of the doubt, especially because she is talking about her mental health. So I would always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. If they ever say that they are struggling or that they are going through something, I will believe that person. So I think that with him being checked out for so long kind of is hindering him from being empathetic to what she's going through. So instead of saying, hey, baby, like, what's wrong? Like, what can I do to help you? Like, let's talk about this. Let's get you some help. He's being like, oh, well, it's such a turnoff that you sleep until 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock. Oh, yeah, well, I don't like that. I want the kids to eat healthy. Oh, well, you're getting old and you're not attractive. And like, you know, I wanted to have daughters. I want at least 2 more, or like all of this stuff. I think that because he's been checked out and maybe because of their history or something that has happened, it's hindering him from seeing that she's in distress. And so he's taking the symptoms of her quarantine fatigue or low-grade depression. And again, I say depression not to diagnose, but just depression as in the symptoms of being lethargic, not having energy, feeling down, feeling, you know, she was saying like there's nothing to look forward to, there's nothing to get dressed up for. So when I say depression, I want to be clear that I am not diagnosing anyone. I'm not saying that she suffers from depression, I'm just saying that the symptoms that she's saying is signs of just like of like depressive symptoms. So I just want to be very clear. I'm not trying to diagnose anyone. So I think that is hindering him from doing that. And I think that maybe it's because she knows that like the marriage isn't going to happen. Like maybe there's been bigger stuff going on behind the scenes. Like maybe she knows that there's been like indiscretions, or he doesn't really plan on following through with the wedding and things like that. And so maybe that is contributing to it. To what she's going through. But Juan, to me, just seems completely just checked out. Like, I'm not even phoning it in anymore, guys. Like, I'm just not interested in being here. That's kind of how it came across. And then now they're building this new house together, but it's almost like, well, you're building a new house, but you didn't get remarried, and you're using COVID as kind of an excuse, which we all get. But it's like, if you're getting remarried, of course, you can always have any type of wedding you want, but why not just go down to like City Hall? It's not like it's your first marriage. It's not like you guys don't already have children. It's not like it's not a pandemic. It's not like you don't already live together. So really, what is stopping the actual marriage? Because you could go down to City Hall, you could get married, and then after the pandemic, you could have a big party. And also, in tandem with this, Karen is planning her so nice we had to do it twice party. So, I mean, if you really wanted it to happen, clearly it actually could, right? So who knows what is going on there. But I hope, and I don't think it'll happen, but what I really want to happen is I want to see Robin and Giselle go head to head. But, you know, prayers up. So, yeah. So now let's talk about Candace and Chris. And then I promise you we will get to Karen and Giselle, but I'm kind of saving that for a little bit because it's just a big matchup. Okay, so Candace and Chris. To me, those two, again, are doing a lot of damage control, right? Candace is trying to revamp her reputation since it got very, very, very tarnished over the last few years with this whole, like, she's the bonus mom to Chris's kids that we are now magically seeing for the first time after how many years they've been on the show. But okay. It seemed to me like the kids were props. And this is obviously no offense to the children, because talking about someone's children is 1,000% off limits. So when I say that, I am not talking about the children themselves. I am talking about the way in which Candace and Chris are using them. So my commentary is about the actions of the alleged actions of Candace and Chris, not about the children. So I'm going to be very, very clear on that. Not talking about anybody's children. But it seemed like they were using the children as a props, right? Because if you think about it, all of the stuff that was going on Twitter and in the blogs about Candace and Chris was a deadbeat dad. He didn't have a relationship with his children. Candace was the breadwinner because Chris was broke and she was paying all of his back child support. So she was really the one, financially supporting his kids, but he wasn't really able to. The whole thing with like Candace dragging out the whole Monique fight thing, Candace making homophobic tweets, Candace wishing death on people, Candace saying to Karen, I hope you burn in hell or whatever she said, and all of those things. So Candace has some damage control to do. And I think that they're kind of using the children as like, the kids are here and I'm the bonus mom. And Chris is such a great hands-on dad. We're going to do math at the kitchen table. Oh, Chris makes us meatballs. Like, it just, the relationship itself and the dynamic between them just seemed off to me. And it just seemed like they were using the kids as props in this sort of like PR stunt. And I didn't like it when Giselle came to Candace's house and that sweet girl came over and she was just kind of standing there and she was like, kind of like, hi, like shy. And Giselle was like, oh, you have really pretty eyes. Do people tell you that? And Candace was like, oh, yeah, I tell that all the time. And then Giselle goes, me too. I was like, Giselle, you couldn't just give a child a compliment without including yourself. I can't. Oh, wait. Happy News says happy birthday to your mom, Paige Coleman. Oh, Paige Coleman. If it's your mom's birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Yes. So it seemed like they were just using it as props. The girl was super quiet. She didn't say anything. And I thought it was really weird that Giselle had to say, yeah, me too, about her eyes. And then another thing that I thought was weird and bizarre was, when Giselle was like, oh, here, like, take my coat, and like gave the coat to the kid as if like the kid was like the butler or something like that. It was just really, really weird and just really, really bizarre to me. So I didn't like that situation. And she didn't seem that comfortable in front of the camera. So I'm not sure if they actually had a conversation with the children being like, do you want to be on camera? Are you not? Are you comfortable? Are you not comfortable? Like Mateo was like hiding up on the stairs and like the girl came and didn't really say anything. So I don't know if that was just their personalities warming up to stuff or if they maybe had some resistance to being on camera, but that didn't really play into Chris's and Candace's agenda to sort of rebrand their reputation. And another thing that I noticed was that, So another thing I noticed was that Chris seemed to have a really nasty attitude. Did anybody else catch that? Or was that just me, right? Because remember when Candace and Giselle was on the couch and I think they made some comment. I think Candace was like, oh, we need snacks or something like that. And he was like, oh, should I put my apron on? And Giselle said something like, yeah, like I need something. And if you go back and watch his face, he made this face of disgust. Like it was just like this, like I am holding in. And it was like this face of disgust. And I think what it boils down to is the way in which Chris and Candace speak to each other and treat each other, where they swear at each other. And like we saw like the promos for the upcoming seasons where she's like, shut up. And he's like, shut up. And he's just like, I'm tired of this S and I'm tired of like F this, F that, or whatever it was. And he's like, I take care of you all day and I do all your stuff all day. And she kind of just has this like entitled, like almost to say like, well, what else would you be doing all day if you weren't taking care of me? And so I kind of see that like sometimes Chris will say and do things and it comes across as like saccharine sweet, but behind it to me, there's like this level of disgust and resentment. So I'm just like, that is a ticking time bomb. When someone feels entitled versus someone feeling resentful, that is a ticking time bomb in any relationship. High Vibe says Chris and Juan are staying from the money. Oh man. Edmund says she's treating him like the help. Exactly. Yes. Can I get a witness? Miss T says interesting points. Exactly. Yes. Husbanger. Absolutely. I'm gonna drop the. Let's get the likes up, guys. Let's do some likes, let's subscribe, let's share. And then after I do my recap of Karen and Giselle, I will then drop the link in case anybody wants to join. We have a lot of people in the room, so let's get into it. All right, so that is kind of my assessment of Candace and Chris. I don't really see her music career going that far. Not to throw any shade or not to speak ill on anybody's business, but I just personally, I just don't see it. Maybe because I'm not into like her musical style, but I don't know. I just personally don't see it, especially with Chris managing her, because to me, their relationship, if it's not toxic already, it's becoming toxic, and we can see it. We can see it literally in front of our eyes, the resentment and the entitlement building and building and building and building. And if that's in your personal relationship, you better believe that will spill over into your professional relationship, because the thing is, the moment something doesn't go right in her musical career, she's going to blame Chris, right? So, and then the moment Candace complains about anything, he's going to be like, but I gave up everything to do this for you. I do everything for you. So yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, Tamara. She goes, I think they treat Chris like the help. We saw that face. Exactly. And I was just like, I was like, this is about to pop off and blow up. Yes. This is about to pop off and blow up. Okay, so let's get into Karen and Giselle. Okay. I'm going to be 100% transparent. I am team Karen all day, every day. I will promise to try to be unbiased when it comes to Giselle, but to me, miss me with Giselle all day long. Miss me with her all day long. So I just want to be very, very transparent that yes, I am very, very biased when it comes to Giselle versus Karen. I think I love Karen. Is she honest all the time? No, but you know what? Who is? But I think that she is elegant. I think she's intelligent. I think she's really funny. I think she's very discerning. She can read anybody like what, and they're very sophisticated reads. She holds her family down, and she is a loyal and good friend when when you are a loyal and good friend to her. She really will do that. And we saw how she did that to both Candace and Monique with the fight. She was very diplomatic about it. Monique understood that. Candace didn't understand that. You can be diplomatic in a friendship. That doesn't mean that I'm betraying you or not supporting you. It's just that I'm being diplomatic regarding the situation. But it takes a level of emotional intelligence and maturity to understand that just because you're not taking my side, that doesn't mean that you're not on my side. And I think that is what Karen was trying to say to her. She was saying, I see fault in both, but I also want to support both. But with Candace, it was very extremist. She was like, you're either with me or against me. And Karen was just like, we're grown folk. We don't do that, right? Like I can objectively say that you are still my friend, but I still find you at fault when it comes to X, Y, and Z, right? So that's what that was. So I am team Karen all day long. So I want to just be very, very clear that I do have a personal bias when it comes to Giselle. Well, not personal, just everything she does just kind of rubs me the wrong way. But I will promise to try to be objective when it comes to her. So if you catch me being too hard on Giselle, or if you catch me being too biased when it comes to Giselle, check me. Keep me accountable. So I'm Candy Canes. That is a homework assignment. If I become too biased against Giselle, check me. Keep me accountable, okay? Okay. So Karen and Giselle. Giselle, It's the hypocrisy for me, sweetheart. The hypocrisy for me. How many seasons did you drag Karen and her money problems and her tax issues and her marriage with Ray? How many seasons did you drag your so-called sister best friend, right? You started this war. You're just mad that Karen is finishing it. The reason why you and Karen's friendship is over and it's the demise of it was because when Ray was going through his tax issues and everything that was going on with them, instead of being a ride or die friend, you made fun, you talked about it behind her back, and when she had that like Ponderosa with everybody came, you literally spent your time, money, and energy to make t-shirts talking about like free Uncle Ben and like all this stuff. I forgot exactly what you said on it, but it was some really nasty things that you said. And then you got up and it was just like, well, you're not being honest. You want to walk out? Let's walk out. Who does that in their right mind? What grown woman takes the time, energy, and money out of her life to literally manufacture t-shirts to throw shade at her so-called friend's husband, and by proxy of that, marriage and children? And then the second thing is, so it was that you did not have her back when it came to Ray. You did not have her back when she had the money problems in her marriage and with him. You actually went out of your way to embarrass her. Can you imagine how that must have felt? That you're sitting on a table with your so-called friend and she takes off her coat and she literally had a t-shirt made coming at your husband in your life? And then Giselle somehow expects Karen to be her friend after that, and she doesn't understand why Karen doesn't mess with her. I'm confused, mind blown. A second thing, and I just say second because it's the second thing I'm talking about, but there's so many other things we can talk about to illustrate this point. But the second big thing was when, do you guys remember when it was Giselle, Ashley, and Robin? And they had Robin dress up as the pizza guy, and they got the pizza, and they went to whatever house Karen was supposed to be renting or living in at the time. They went in, and with the whole camera crew, mind you, it wasn't like a off-camera, let's do this little funny thing off camera. On camera, so the whole world could see, and delivered the pizza, left it on the front thing, and then at some event, I think it was like a rooftop event for something, go up to her and be like, oh, did you enjoy your pizza? Did you like your pizza? How was that? And then when Karen was like, wait, what pizza? We didn't get a pizza. Basically trying to say that Karen was lying about where she was living. Like, well, you don't really live there. Nobody really lives there. We delivered a pizza. You didn't get the pizza? That means you're lying about where you live. So basically really trying to throw Karen under the bus and try to expose Karen and, again, really embarrass her, right? And I think the reason why Karen isn't mad at Robin and Ashley as much is because it is very, very clear that Giselle is the person who plays on everybody's strings. Like, I don't believe that Robin and Ashley would have done that independent of Giselle. I think it was Giselle's idea. She used Robin as her puppet Patsy. And then Ashley's messy as hell. She was just down for the ride, right? So I think that is why Karen holds Giselle more responsible for that. So not only did you literally design and manufacture t-shirts to embarrass and bring down this woman's marriage and husband, but then you also tried to throw her under the bus when it came to where she was living in a very mean-spirited, like, who sits up and says, let's go get a costume of a pizza guy, let's actually then go pick up a pizza, let's all hop into my car, let's all drive to this woman's house, let's ding dong the bell, let's leave the pizza there, let's laugh and giggle and go back into the car, and then at the next party be like, so how'd you like the pepperoni pizza, or whatever they said. Diabolical. Like, when you take away the kiki and you take away the fun shade and you actually just look at it for what it was, that is some messed up stuff. Deeply rooted, messed up stuff. How embarrassed do you think Karen was? And then people are like, oh, Karen lies and backtracks. And well, of course she's trying to backtrack because she's not trying to look that embarrassed and have her business out like that. Sure, she's on a reality show, sure, all this stuff. But you know what? They all peacock, they all front, they all do these things. But there are lines that need to be drawn, right? And for what, Giselle? Karen wasn't coming at you for anything. Karen only started coming after you came for her. And if you go back and you watch the interviews with Karen, that's exactly what she says. She goes, when I saw Giselle for who Giselle really was, things changed. And now Miss Giselle is like, Karen walked in the room and she like walked right past me. Like, I can't believe it. It said things that hurt my family and embarrassed my family. If she doesn't come over here and apologize to me right now. And it's just like, Giselle, I don't get that level of like lack of self-awareness and entitlement and hypocrisy that people have, allegedly, in my opinion. I just don't get it, right? It's just like, you did all of these horrible things to this person who you called your friend, and then turnabout is fair play. So then when she started talking about your relationship with Jamal, when she started talking about things that have happened to you and what's going on in your past, you want to sit here and play the victim and act like she needs to apologize to you and your family. Did you apologize to her and her family? Giselle was just like, oh, like my girls were hurt, my girls were embarrassed because of what Karen said or did. No, Giselle, your daughters were embarrassed because of what you and their father did. If you and Jamal didn't come up with this fake storyline to make you relevant last season, none of this would have come to light, and this wouldn't have happened. Karen didn't create the problem, you did. You're just mad because Karen didn't lie for you when Monique came with the binder and just let it all hang out. It is not Karen who needs to apologize to your children, Giselle. You do. You are the mother. It was your job to protect them, not Karen's. And Karen also has children, right? She has beautiful Raven and a boy and an older son. So did you apologize to her children when you put their father's tax issues on blast? When you made a t-shirt to mock their father? Did you apologize to her children? Did you apologize to her children? You tried to throw her under the bus and have a pizza delivered to her house to prove literally to the world that she may or may not have been living where she said she was living. And who knows, maybe she really was living there. Like, who knows what happened or what didn't happen. But do you not think that it hurt her children to see that? And it was embarrassing for her children for that? What's good for the goose is good for the gander, Giselle. You can't go around tearing down people's families and husbands' financial situations, housing situations, whatever, and then expect that somehow you are exempt from people talking about the skeletons in your closet. So it's the hypocrisy and just complete lack of accountability that Giselle has. It blows my mind how she sits there feeling entitled to all of these things from all of these people. But yet she gives none of those things to people. She doesn't even really give loyalty to Robin. Remember when she went off on Monique at Robin's open house and she talks and she like low-key shades Robin too? I think it just appears to be more loyal to her because Robin is more submissive to her. So she doesn't do it as much. But it's insane to me. It's just like, Giselle, you created this. You can't be mad at the people who shine a light on it. There would be nothing to shine a light on if this isn't what you did. So just miss me with all of that, Giselle. And then when they were going back at it, Giselle only come back was just like, well, like at least his penis works. It's like, that's it? You weren't like, no, he wasn't having babies on me for the last 2 decades. No, he hasn't been, sleeping with everybody in his congregation from Atlanta to LA to Miami to wherever else in the world. All alleged, right? No, it wasn't a fake storyline. No, I don't have a hot box. And so I know when Karen was just like, if you have a fiery box or whatever, I don't really want to touch that because that to me is just like so like personal and just literally below the belt. So I'll just say that's what she said and then I'll skirt along. But when she was saying about Sing Sing, Karen clarified that what she meant, that she thought that Sing Sing was a mental facility or something like that, because allegedly word on the street, and again, not to ever demean someone's mental capacity, but during the time that Giselle and Jamal were supposedly getting married, she found out he was like cheating and doing all this stuff, and she had some sort of breakdown, and so she had to go to a mental facility, and then she still married him. Allegedly, that I believe that's what the story is, but check me if I'm wrong. And again, this is all alleged, and for entertainment purposes only. And so I think that that is what Karen was trying to refer to. So not Sing Sing the prison, but I think she thought that Sing Sing was synonymous with the facility, like a Betty Ford. Is it Betty Ford, or is that like a rehab facility? I don't know. But yeah, but Karen was just like, and I loved how Karen was just like, you don't want this. Don't do this. Like, she was just like, I'm warning you, little girl. I am warning you. And then Giselle was up there with her dry reads. Well, we're going to talk about your drunk truth. We're going to talk about, you know, your finances truth, your broke truth. And I was just like, Giselle, stop. Giselle, stop. And then Karen was just like, shut up. I was like, Karen, I love you. I was just like, Karen, I love you. She was like, shut up. She's like, okay, well, we're going to talk about, you know, your hot box or whatever it was. And I don't want to get too far down that rabbit hole. Like, you guys all saw it and can infer what you want to infer from it. But I am telling you, it was, I lived for it. And I cannot wait to see Karen drag Giselle for the rest of this season. So that is what I think. I'm going to see what you guys think. And then I'm also going to drop the link for you guys to call in and join me. But I think those were my biggest takeaways. But let's see what you guys are thinking and what you guys are saying. I believe I just dropped the links for you guys to join, but let's see what you're saying in the comment box. Coffee Conversation says Giselle is a bully. She is a bully. And that's why she doesn't, she can't take constructive criticism, or she can't take her own medicine. She dishes it out, but then her mind gets blown when someone gives it right back to her. It's insane. B says fire crotch with a fire. Yeah, allegedly, supposedly. I don't want to touch that too much. You know, I don't want to go too below the belt. Tasia says, do put a ring on it. Yes. Young Rich says, I believe it because Jamal be putting his peen in everybody's hoochie and boochie. I mean, allegedly, I wouldn't be surprised. And that's just a PSA for everybody. Wrap it up. Get tested. Take care of yourself first. But yeah, I believe it too. Jade MC2 is laughing. Lafina says, that's Giselle. Let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, yes. Lafina saying that's Giselle's storyline, getting dragged by Karen, LOL. Can I get a witness? Says, yes, that was good. Candy Washington, yes. I'm going to try and show you guys. StreamYard's been being slow, but I want to shout you guys out. Unwind and Dine with a Thompson says, Karen warned her and she kept going. Like, what the F is she coming at Karen for? She needed to have that energy on the reunion. Exactly. Oh, June's Place. It says devices not connected. So connect your devices so you can join. No, exactly. The reason why Giselle didn't have that energy at the reunion was because she was so focused on trying to bring down Monique and pretending like she was so afraid of Monique that she forgot that, you know, Karen was a sniper from the side. You know, throw it back to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills if you get that reference. But yeah, I agree with you. Karen warned her. She was like, stop this. Like, you don't want to do this. Stop. And I think that Karen is just going to go pow, 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 and just read Giselle down for the rest of the season. And I am absolutely here for it because Giselle is just too messy. And did you see in the promos, you guys, did you see where Giselle is? Who is she talking to? I can't remember. So somebody help me. Who was she talking to in the promo? Was it Candace? When she goes, so are we going to talk about the Eddie rumors? Like, what? That is blatant betrayal to her girl, Wendy. So Wendy's about to like real quick see who Giselle really is. Hey, Sharon Turner. She goes, I just got out the pool. No, ma'am. LOL. Yes, yes, yes. Andy Weirdo is showing us some love. Hi, Andy Weirdo. I love it. I love it. I love it. Abby L says Karen was sitting on Ready. She dragged Giselle all over DC. Abby, yes, she was. She really was sitting on Ready. She really was. Is Jamal coming? Is Jamal coming? Absolutely. I didn't think so. Of course not. I loved it. I loved it. But let's see what else happened during that. I think those were like the key points, right? What do you guys think? Did I miss anything? Put it in the comments if I missed something. Hey, Cynthia's Bonnet. She goes, he cheated when they were engaged and his second daughter and had his second daughter on her. Jezebel had a nervous breakdown. Her dad put her in a mental health facility. That's why her family didn't attend her wedding. See, there you go. There you go. Thank you, Cynthia's Bonnet. I'm still going to say alleged to protect me and you. But thank you so much for that tea, because that's kind of how I remembered it as well. And again, remember when her dad was on a hot mic last season? And he was basically just like, why would I be happy about this again? Like, I'm confused. Do you know what I mean? So who knows? Who knows? Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Miss T says Giselle is just trying to have a storyline. Veronica says Giselle said Jamal cheated on her 22 times during their relationship. Only 22? Seems like a low number when it comes to that. Maybe he has 22 kids. Allegedly, maybe. No, but let me stop. Let me stop. And again, it has nothing against the children. All children are blessings, and it's not their fault at all. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Hi, Young Rich. He goes, I heard yesterday that Jamal was with LaQuisha Malaysia Pargo, who bleached her skin from Compton. So if he would be with her and Dr. Tuna Fish Griffin, no telling who else he's piping down. Damn, Young Rich. Damn. Oh, my gosh. You just came through with everything, man. Everything. Again, allegedly, entertainment purposes. Yes, 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 yes. Let's see what you guys are saying. So Sandra Henderson says, the fiery box was a big one. I wonder what else Karen has in her back pocket about Karen. Oh, about Giselle, I think you mean. Yes. And you know what, Sandra? Thanks for bringing that up, right? The fiery box was a big one. I'm not going to touch it because it's a little too messy, too below the belt. We all saw it, right? We all can deduce what we think may or may not have happened, right? But that's a really good point, because remember how Giselle kept saying, like, I'm just going to sprinkle it. I have so much tea on you. I know everything about you. I'm just going to sprinkle it. You know, I'm just going to sprinkle it just throughout, blah, blah, blah. To me, Giselle, you need a better poker face. That to me means you don't really have anything. Because a person who really is at their wit's end from someone that you disdain as much as you disdain Karen, you would at least have had said something new and different, some new piece of gossip or some new piece of tea than what you brought. Because what you brought was really like stale old tea, right? Just, I feel like the only thing she talks about is like, I want Ray to pay his taxes. I want Ray to pay his bills. Okay, you know what? We've already been through that storyline. It's already been exposed about the taxes. Karen already paid them. They're in the clear. So like, why do you keep bringing up old tea? You know, that's from years ago. It's over. It's done. They made a mistake and they cleaned up the mistake. What are you talking about? You know, Karen and Monique brought up current tea at the reunion, what Jamal currently was doing to other women, but maybe not was actually doing with you because he was living in your phone, right? So this is all current tea. And then Karen threw out that big juggernaut about the firebox. That was current tea. Like, I don't think anyone had really heard about this like firebox rumor. So that was some new tea that she threw out, right? Giselle hasn't thrown out anything new. It's just about Ray's taxes, and it's just about Ray's ability to perform in bed, right? Which we all know as people, men and women, as we sometimes age or get older, doing certain things may or may not be as easy as they have been in the past. That's just a natural life progression. So kind of throwing that in her face to me doesn't really, that's not that big of a dig. It's almost just like, okay, so raise an older man. I don't get it. So it's just like for you to keep threatening, like, I'm going to spill your tea. I'm just going to spill it in drops and throughout, but you don't actually bring any fresh tea to prove that you have anything. You're bluffing, Giselle. You don't have anything. But I'm excited to see what Karen has because I believe Karen. She was just like, you don't want to do this. Firebox. 100%. Let's see what's going on in the chat box. Unwind and Dine with the Thompson says, listen, if it was Juan, she would be doing the exact same. Giselle is saving her job. Giselle is saving her job. That is 100%. Giselle is definitely trying to save her job because she's not a fan favorite. It's like it's one thing to be a favorite at Bravo, but if the fans don't like you, then like it doesn't make sense to keep you. Hey, Perfectly Flawed, if a man cheats on you 22 times and you stick around, that says something about you. Exactly. Like Giselle has to really own her part in all of this. Like nobody made you bring Jamal back on the show. You could have just been like, I'm a single girl going it alone, and you could have gone on a series of like super fun, quirky dates. Like that would have been more entertaining to see your true life, to see you truly on a quest for love and companionship. You know, I would have loved to have seen that, Giselle, before I wanted to see this sort of like fake coerced relationship that we all knew wasn't real. Do you know what I mean? Like I would have much rather have seen Giselle's true journey. Hey, Sharon Redmond, because Giselle wanted all the smoke and got suffocated with the quickness. She really did. She really did. She's like, you don't want this. You don't want this. Hey, Miss T, Giselle is the Kenya of Potomac. Stir the pot. Very true. She really is. And they both do questionable things where I'm just sort of like, I can't. Hey, Gail Fran, she goes, amen, was so unbothered. Yes, she was. She was so unbothered. She was just like, whatever. Go ahead. Try if you want to. Hey, High Vibe. He goes, yeah, I can't wait for Ms. Wendy with her 4 degrees to read Gizzard like a PhD dissertation. I know. I can't wait for her to read her either, just because I said, again, I'm biased. But I'm also not a Wendy fan either, because last season, Wendy had no problem jumping on the Monique is cheating on her husband. Her child is not her husband's child. She had an affair with the trainer. She had the A word and all of that stuff. Like Monique had no problem joining in and going after Monique and trying to do a demise on Monique in her family and her marriage when she thought that she was one of the cool girls. But then this season, when Giselle made her quickly realize that no, boo-boo, you actually can't sit with us. We used you last season because there was a chick we liked less than you. And that's basically what it boils down to. Giselle and Robin don't like you, Wendy. They just liked you a little bit more than they hated Monique. And that is what it was. So then this season, Wendy, in her little mind, thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be one of the cool girls. I got new boobs. I got a new butt. I got liposuction. I got a nose job. I have a lot. My skin is lighter. All of those things. Allegedly. I'm going to be one of the cool girls now. And Giselle quickly was just like, so are we going to talk about Eddie? Because Monique and Chris are gone. And we need someone to talk about. So it's going to be you and your husband. Right? So, Wendy, where was all of this energy about preserving marriages and worrying about people's children and loyalty and friendship and woman code and girl code? Where was all of that energy when you guys were sitting around coming up with how you were going to take Monique, her husband, and her children down? And that should be a lesson, right? That should be a lesson. How people treat other people is eventually how they will treat you, because people are who they are. Hey, Just Ann, do you want to share?
I finally got the microphone to work, but you said everything. I was just gonna say that Wendy came out and said that the editing did not show that she did disclose she had more than the breast job. So she did say she had the butt, whatever the what is it, the Brazilian butt lift?
Brazilian butt lift, yeah.
Yeah, but I think she had more than even that. But she just came out and said editing didn't show when she talked about her processes. Because I agree with everything you said, and I do feel like I was still trying to figure out what was it about her asking the kids, what is that? Showing them, the cupcakes. So I'm with you on that. Totally. I'm
Yeah.
with you. I'm with you. Like I was still to even to them, like, what was that about? Like I was still trying to figure out why, like the why behind that. I really don't get it. I agree with everything you said with um Giselle and Karen. But what bothers me about Giselle is that why does she always talk about everybody's marriage when she doesn't have a marriage? That's
Deflection.
my problem. It's like
Deflection.
it's almost like how Wendy Williams has this complex because she's hurting. She wants everybody else to be, hurting or whatever. I kind of feel like she wants to tear these women marriages apart because she does not have a real relationship. That's what bothers me the
Mhm.
most about Giselle. Like what you said, the hypocrisy is one thing, but that she talks about their marriages, but she doesn't have one, you know?
Misery loves company.
Yeah.
Misery loves company. She's like,
Yeah.
I am miserable with where I am in my life. So if I see joy in anybody else's life, I want to tear you down to be at my level. If you see it, look at her face and her attitude when she saw Candace's house. Like, what did she
Yes.
say? Oh, they moving on up. Why, Giselle? Because people clowned the little house you live in. So you're jealous because Candace has a really nice house. And then when she got to Wendy's house, she seemed to
She
have
made references about her house as well.
made references
Like
about her house.
I'm like, you're the last person that should be talking about these women houses because
Exactly.
your house is not even compatible with any of their houses. Number one, everybody lives far away from Potomac. Who really lives there? Only Karen, right? All of them live in another place away from it. So why are you disting their homes? And yes, we all know with Candace, you can talk about the fact that she's taking care of Chris. And you're right about Chris. Chris is, when this blows up, because he seems like he has a lot of resentment, a lot of
Yeah.
anger for being taken care of. What do they call it? The kept man. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like a double-edged sword. It's like one part of him wants to be kept and he's in it for the money and the clout and what he can get out of it. But then the other part of it is just like that natural masculine drive where you feel kind of demasculated or emasculated, whatever the word is, by having a woman
Mm-hmm.
take care of you.
Yes,
And on top of that,
exactly.
it's with how public she does it. Like it's her
Yes,
attitude and her tone. It's like it's not so much that she
condescending.
has the money. Exactly, just and she's very condescending. It's not just that she has the money, it's that she's gonna remind you every day that she is the one who has the money. And she's also gonna make sure that Bobby next door, Deborah down the lane, they're all gonna know that I have the money too. And
And
no
I
man.
believe she's behind the children being on the show. She's behind it. I believe
100%.
she pushed that. She pushed that. She needed that for her storyline. She needed that for everything you said, her image. I believe she's behind it. And I don't think he may necessarily had agreed or like wanted it, but had to go along since she's the one carrying the weight financially. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But
Yeah,
I
we
love
will.
your show and I love
I
your
love
content, your
you too.
commentary.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. You can hang out, you can drop off, whatever you want.
All right.
Okay. Hey Tamra, do you
Hi,
want to share?
hi, Candy. I'm so glad to be on
Hi.
here. I watch you all the time. You're the bomb. You're the bomb.
Yay! Thank you, sweetheart.
I just wanted to say, well, yeah, Giselle definitely like she tends to focus on everybody else's problems. But she has all these big headlines and problems. But it's Karen, it's this one. Now it was Monique. It's like, she's just not a nice person at all. She's a mean girl. And I wanted to ask you, do you think she's a narcissist?
Yeah. Giselle?
Yeah, because she seems not to take accountability for anything. Like, okay, Karen's mad at you, but you dragged her and she's like, me, you know, like.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think allegedly, in my opinion, can always protect ourselves.
Yeah.
I do think that she has narcissistic tendencies. Again, being a narcissist, it's on a spectrum.
Yeah.
So you can have narcissistic tendencies without being a full-blown narcissist. Like, I think that, you know, that who shall not be named is a full-blown narcissist. But, you know what I'm saying? But I think Giselle has strong narcissistic tendencies, because if you watch her and if you listen to her, she always says everything from her point of view, how things affect her, and she lacks empathy and awareness on how her actions affect other people, and she doesn't seem to comprehend how other people feel. Like with her children, right? She was like, oh, my daughters are so protective of me. That's why they are being weird about Jamal. Where it's just like, no, why are you making this about you? You're the mother. You're supposed to be protective of your children. Parenthesizing children is a huge sign of narcissism, because the children feel like they have to take care of you because everything is always about you. Yeah. But somebody who is not narcissistic would say, hey, baby girl, why are you upset? Are you upset because your dad isn't around? Because everything is going on in the blogs? Are you upset because you have 5, 10, 15, 20 half siblings all over the country? Like, think about it from a child's perspective, particularly a little girl's perspective. And your father has been deemed pastor holy whore. And literally the world is talking about him cheating with all of these women in the congregation, the hypocrisy of being a man of the cloth, but under everybody's sheets, right? And then you have all of these half siblings all across the country that you may or may not know, even though you know they are not from your mother, that's still your sibling. And that's a missing part of you. Mm-hmm. And so Giselle lacked the awareness to say, how is all of this affecting my children? And then what can I do as their mother to protect them and to make sure that they get through this okay? But in Giselle's narcissistic mind, she goes, oh, my girls don't want me with him because they're so protective of me. That is not how it is supposed to be. The mother protects the child, not the other way around. And that's how you know she's narcissistic. And then when it comes to her and Karen, last night when she sat up there and was just like, Karen owes me an apology, and if she doesn't come over here and beg for my forgiveness, then it's going to be over. Well, then Giselle, let it be over.
It. I was like, what?
You owe her apology.
What?
For the last 3 seasons.
I was screaming. I was like, girl, really? Like, okay.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. And then when she tried to lie about why she wasn't with Jamal because of COVID and long distance.
Okay.
The whole world knows already.
You guys
had a fake relationship.
You had a quarantine relationship before there was quarantine, okay? Like, was Jamal patient zero? Was Jamal patient zero, and that's why you had to socially distance?
Is Jamal coming? Come on, girl.
Of course not.
That's so funny. Ooh. As Karen said, he only lives in the phone. He only lives in the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't,
because that was an agreement.
It wasn't COVID then when they filmed that, right? No, it wasn't, right? When he was living.
No, it wasn't.
Oh no.
Well, like
no. This is the COVID season for them. This is the COVID season.
This is it.
Because that's why Robin is saying that her and Juan aren't getting married because of COVID. So this is the COVID season. Yes, another lie, another deflection, another untruth. Juan is all the way out. Oh, go ahead, Justine.
I agree with what you were saying before. Like when I was watching it, I found that Juan kind of resents her for some.
Yes.
Yeah. I find he resents her, like maybe because remember at first there was an issue with her lending money or an investment gone wrong, and it was her friend.
Yep.
Right.
And then she tried to do other ventures, and then that didn't work. I don't know. I never felt that he really like. I always felt that he kind of was like, yeah, okay, you know. And also, they've been together for a long time, since they were in like high school or something. So maybe, you know, it's just like the relationship has played out. I don't know.
I think Candy hit it on. I think Candy was absolutely hit it on the head, the nail on the head, because he's not really in a relationship with her. That's the reason. But he has to. They're doing this for money. They're doing this for money. I mean, let's be real about it. It's a job. It's an income. So they're making money off of this storyline. But he's not into Robin. He's into the allegedly girlfriend. So I feel like it's just wearing and tearing, because at some point you got to say, because they said her hat line is doing well. So it's not the business venture. You know what I mean? That I believe you got it, Candy. I think you hit it on the head. He really, you know, you're in something you really don't want to be in, but you have to be in it for financial reasons for now. Kind of thing.
Yeah. And just to piggyback off of that, I think, and I also heard allegedly that she was also cheating with the guy that she had given the money to.
Cheating.
She had been cheating with him. I believe I heard that. Alleged. I believe so. If I'm misremembering, someone check me on that. But even without that, even if it wasn't cheating, I think that big betrayal.
He would never forgive her that. He would never forgive her that. Men don't.
Yeah. Juan made good, right? He came from very humble beginnings. He made good. He got into the NBA. He made all this money. And then this woman who you're trying to build a life with squanders it. Like, the two core things in all relationship is money and sex, right? So when the money left, it was clear the sex left, because she kept saying how like they weren't really that intimate. I don't think he ever really recovered from that. And if you listen to Juan and you watch their story, it seems like he was always with her out of obligation rather than a true love. Because it seemed like when his mom passed away, and then I think his father may or may not have had drug issues, allegedly. If I'm wrong, I apologize for saying that. But then it almost seemed like her parents became his surrogate parents, how it kind of seemed. So it seemed like they were really supportive of him and they were together. So it seemed like he felt obligated to be with her and to stay with her because of the parents almost like being surrogate parents for him. And then if you guys remember, was it the first or second season when he was caught on the mic?
I remember that.
The mic. Yes. He said it. He said, "I'm only here for the children. If the boys weren't here, I would have been gone." That is exactly what it is. I think that Juan has been checked out for a very, very long time. And I think once the boys get to a certain age, he will be out and he's not going to remarry her. And if you go back and watch the them when they were last night talking about kids, I swear, I put it in my mind that what he was saying was, "I want to have some girls." But then when
he did say girls, and then he told her she was too old. So what are you talking about?
I'm like, oh, with her, I'm not sure.
Because in his mind, he's like, my girlfriend is young enough to have my girls.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Hold up. He's just like, I want to have. Like, I'm like,
he's like, I want to have some girls. He's like, I'm gonna have some girls. I don't know what you're gonna be doing when our boys are in college, but I'm gonna be having some girls.
Yep, he was like very clear about that.
And determined that he will have those girls.
He will have those girls with an S.
I will be having some girls.
With an S.
With an S.
With an S.
And Robin, you're 42, so you can't be having my girls with an S.
You know,
that's what he said.
Ask for, you know, at a certain age. Yeah. I'm 44, right? But
that's
like,
so
it's a lot to ask for.
Oh, you look gorgeous, girl.
Thank you. But I was like, hey, hold on.
Yeah.
Twins?
He said 42. I was like, you can't. He said, you can't have no more babies for me. Somebody else having my babies.
He made it clear. He was like, but I still want the girls.
Yeah. So I wonder if her
Poor
depression
Oliver.
is quarantine depression, or
Yeah.
could it be to have to do with the whole thing that she knows this whole relationship got to end? It's not going anywhere. How long could she put on this facade for this show? I don't know. But she seemed like she was really depressed. It didn't seem like
Yeah, she
that
did.
was something that was for the TV.
I do have a friend though who's she's a divorce lawyer. I'm in
Hmm.
Canada, but I don't know how it is in the States, but she did say that she has the most amount of divorce and separations during this COVID. So a lot of people got to spend a lot more time together. So maybe they
Yeah.
spent a lot of time and maybe like it kind of downed the relationship more. Who knows? I mean, I don't
It
know.
Yeah,
probably
but this,
compounded all the issues. Because I think what
Yeah.
happened with COVID and quarantine was that we just got put under this microscope and under
Yeah.
this bubble with everyone in your world, that it made you have to pay attention to your relationships. And
Yeah.
when you started paying attention to your relationships, maybe you didn't like what you saw or what you had been running away from this whole time.
Right,
Natalia,
right.
did you want to share?
Yeah, hi Candy.
Hi, Natalia.
So like I love the episode. So
Mm-hmm.
my issue is with the people, like a lot of people don't like Candace. And I genuinely like Candace. So I don't know why, like last season the clash with her and Monique was like so big, and like everybody was like gang up on Candace as if it was so. I know she provoked her, but like at least Monique was supposed to say sorry. And with the Giselle and Karen, I feel like she said they've been friendship for like over a decade. So I feel like Giselle went too far about like saying about Karen's husband 6 feet under, and like it was a low blow, and like once you do something so fast or good, you can never come back from stuff. So that's why Karen is withdrawn from Giselle. And like with Wendy, I feel like she was also like a follower last season, and now like they are taking her. She was like attacking Monique last season about like you're something about black women, but now she's being attacked. Now she's angry. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I don't know. Now she's angry. Now who is the angry black woman? You are attacking Monique for the same thing that you also
Exactly.
wanted to do. And like with the Ashley and Michael, I like Ashley, but I don't know if she's like in love with him or in love with his money. And like she has 2 kids with him.
Money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think let me see if I remember what you went through and we could talk about. I think with Ashley, I think that she is trying, I think she married her father. I think that Michael is a
Yeah.
father figure to her. He's white,
Yes.
he's older. He can be withholding. He kind of withholds the affection and love and money when he wants to, but then he gives it when she feels like she like has earned it. And I feel like that kind of
Mm-hmm.
mirrors her childhood, right? Where she just always wanted her daddy's attention. She wanted her daddy's love.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted her daddy to
Oh,
acknowledge her, right? And we saw her whole
mm-hmm.
journey on the show with that. And I think she
Yeah.
even did that in one of her therapy sessions where she was just like, she kind of looks at Michael like this, almost like paternally. And I think that's another reason why she's so, and even last night, she said, she echoed it. She was like, I didn't know what a healthy father looked like. And Michael is such a great
Mm-hmm.
father. So I think that
Yeah. I
maybe,
think also, mhm.
oh yeah, I think that Michael might treat his children the way that Ashley wished her father treated her. But I think the way that Michael treats her is the way her father treated her, where she always had to hustle for his approval. So I think maybe that's why it doesn't seem like it's based on love. It might be based out of like childhood wounding. And so she's trying to
Mm-hmm.
get from Michael what she didn't get from her father. And then when it comes to Wendy, I think you're spot on. It's like, oh, you had everything to say about Monique having a visceral response to someone coming for her and her family. Because don't forget it. It wasn't just Candace running her mouth. It was the fact that Monique actually thought Candace was her friend, and Candace participated in and this is what Candace said out of her own mouth out in her live, that her and Giselle and Robin and the girls had gotten together after Andy Cohen's baby shower and was
Yeah.
plotting to say that the baby wasn't Chris's, she was cheating, and she had the A word. And then Candace didn't go straight to her friend and be like, "Hi, friend, guess what they're saying about your family?" She went to Karen. And then Karen was the one who gave Monique the warning. Yeah. So you wanted to make Monique's reaction, which I don't condone violence, but I do understand it, her reaction, to be perfectly honest. I understand that. When she got to that level, you wanted to say, oh, we have to represent all Black women. Actually, no, you don't. Black women, we are allowed to experience all of humanity. We are allowed to be angry without it being representation of all of us. We're allowed to be mad. We're allowed to be pissed off. We're allowed to expect protection. We are allowed to expect loyalty. We are allowed to expect friendship. But now that it's happening to your family and it's about your man and it's about your kids, it's about the kid he allegedly has with his white woman at his law firm, now you want to be afforded the luxury to be angry that someone that you thought was your friend betrayed you. Aren't you looking in a mirror of exactly what happened to Monique? But now you want sympathy and you want understanding and you want to be afforded all of the aspects of the human emotional spectrum, but yet you wanted to judge this woman for defending her family last season and acting like her molly-whopping Candace wasn't what all of us wanted to do in that moment, to be perfectly honest. So Wendy can miss me with all that. You're not a victim, and I don't condone going after families, but turnabout is fair play, and what you put out, you get back tenfold. And you're literally just a mirror of what happened to Monique last season. So
you're the new target.
I was actually surprised. I was actually surprised that Wendy turned on Monique. Like, I was like, because Monique was nothing but nice to her, and Wendy was like, "Let me hang with Giselle and the crew," and like, it was weird.
Well,
like,
Monique and Candace are friends. Monique and Candace are friends. So she had to take the side of her friend. That's what happened last year. And the reason why she was kind of biased, to be honest, because her and Candace are friends. So she had to support Candace. Now, I didn't agree. I'm like Natalie. I thought Monique was wrong. I feel like we should be able to say whatever we want, get as angry as we want. Even if you want to go ahead and curse me out, go ahead and do that. But don't throw hands. Don't put your hands on me. You crossed the line. That's the part about Monique I didn't like. I do understand everything you said, Candy, her reasons behind it, but that part I didn't agree with. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you, Justin. I think that the act of putting your hands on someone is unacceptable, particularly if you are two adults. You don't behave that way. You don't put your hands on each other.
Yeah.
But I also understood Monique's position of trying to understand why she did it. Because it's one thing to condone the action. It's another to have a discussion about the why of the action. So that is one thing I did like, is she did, for her part, she did go to therapy. She talked about her triggers. She talked about her childhood. She talked about her dad. Bravo didn't play a lot of it, but what they did play, she was diving deep. And what she said, remember in that clip when it was Chris and her pastor and the pastor's wife, and they were having that little session, and they were talking about all of Monique's like insecurities about always needing to be perfect or accepted. And she said in that moment, I have to apologize to Candace because it wasn't about her. It was about all those other things that boiled up. But before she could apologize, Candace tried to do a lawsuit against her. So once she did the lawsuit, Monique couldn't attack her because she made it legal, because she was trying to get a money grab, in my opinion.
I think the reason why Candace was angry is because she didn't say sorry sooner. And the emotions were pumping from both sides. That's why Candace was so pissed that she didn't even apologize. And she was so, she didn't even, I think she only apologized.
Let me ask you a question, Candy. Do you not feel like Giselle had done things or said things against Monique that was far worse than anything that Candace ever did? And I just have this thing was why I kind of feel like Giselle played them both pretty much. I kind of got that, like she's the puppet master and she kind of like instigated it. They don't know they were being played or pawned. But I never saw Monique take any of the rage out on Giselle from day one when she came in. Giselle has done nothing but attacked her, put her down. You know what I'm saying? But I never see her make a physical attempt against Giselle. And I just wonder if it's that thing whereas we know when to cross the line and we know when not to cross the line. You
But
know?
I asked myself that
No.
question as well. And I know Candy, sorry, Candy, I asked myself
No,
that
go ahead.
question as well, but I felt like maybe it's because, tell me if I'm wrong, Candy, is that Monique, because Candace and Monique were really supposed to be girls, maybe that's where that was coming from. What do you think?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And Tamara, I will never tell you that you're wrong. We can have differing opinions.
Just asking.
Doesn't mean one person is wrong or one person is right. Because at the end of the day, this is all alleged.
Yeah.
This is all of our opinions and observations. And we are all just here for a good kiki. So you are not wrong. I will never say that you're wrong. But what I will say is that I agree with you. I do think that a big part of it was, someone just did a super chat. Hi, Soon Lily. Hopefully, StreetYard will show it. Hey, Soon Lily, she goes, ROP will take the #1 spot in the Housewives franchise.
I agree.
Are vast and interesting. Yes, I agree.
Yes.
100%. 100%.
Yes.
Our hop is turning out and turning up. Okay, but back to this. And thank you so much, Soon Lily, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Is this? Yes, I think that Monique felt a sense of betrayal when it came to Candace because she actually did think that they had a friendship. Whereas I think she knew who Giselle was. And so she was taking Giselle with a grain of salt. And she didn't feel necessarily, yes, she felt that what Giselle was doing was wrong, but it was a different level of betrayal that she felt from Candace. And then I think what another big problem was that Candace lacked the ability and awareness to understand why Monique was upset. And so Candace was almost acting out like a little kid who was just like, any attention is better than no attention. So I think she kept nicking at Monique because Candace, and again, I'm not a big Candace fan, but to be fair, I do think that Candace really did love Monique and that she really did miss the friendship she had.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, me too.
But she lacked the ability to understand why Monique was upset with her. So in Candace's mind, she thought, you're supposed to be my big sis. We were friends. Why are you mad at me? I'm gonna keep picking until you pay attention to me because I'd rather that you fight me than ignore me. And to me, it was more like that. So I think that's why it kind of jumped off with Candace. And I think that if the physical fight had not happened, I think that Monique would have gotten into Giselle. But I think since the physical fight happened, it kind of stunted everything else and it took over. So I think that's why Monique didn't have the opportunity to really get in Giselle's neck the way she needed to get into it. Because once she put her hands on Candace, the whole trajectory of the season changed.
That was explode. Like she was, she had exploded.
Yeah.
And remember like you just touched on something that I remember, like Candace really did like Monique because the season before, remember when Ashley there was something with Ash. Oh yeah, Ashley and Monique didn't get along because Ashley was saying that Monique was drunk allegedly while she was driving and this and that. Candace
I remember that.
Monique's back. And then Monique became reconciled with Ashley. And from then on, Candace was like, really? Like she seemed a little offended that she had Monique's back and that Monique reconciled with Ashley. I found, did you guys see that it started kind of from there, kind of Monique and Candace tension from there, from Monique becoming Ashley's friend again?
Yep. That was a part too, because she couldn't take that. I said I agree with you. She couldn't take that. That like she would not live that portion down. So I agree with you on that too. Yeah. That had a big part in it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And if you remember, and it goes back to Candace's ability to be emotionally mature, is that, remember she said like she felt that oh, well, you just used me to become friends with Ashley, and now that you're friends with Ashley, you don't want to be friends with me anymore. She says something along those lines of like, oh, well, now that you're back friends with Ashley, you're not going to want to be friends with me anymore. And that's not true, and it's not the case. You can be friends with a lot of people. And Monique was just like, what are you talking about? Like, we're still friends. And then happened with the text messages where Monique showed Ashley the text messages that she had with Candace, because there was something going around and Candace got really mad that Monique showed her the text messages. But again, I think that was just a miscommunication. I think Monique was having a conversation with Ashley and was just like, oh, no, it wasn't said that way. It was said this way. Here are the text messages. But then Candace really took that to heart as if, oh, you're siding with Ashley and you're throwing me under the bus now. Because if you think about it, Giselle, I think, was the one who was like, oh, Monique showing text messages, again, planting those seeds and stirring the pot and pitting people against each other, which is, again, another narcissistic trait.
I agree.
Giselle's always in the middle of something. She's always like, she wants everybody to hate each other, but like her. Like, she's like, she'll go back to this one and that. Do you know what happened? Like, she's just like that girl in high school that wants all the attention and that for everybody to fight. It seems to me, anyway.
But I love Giselle.
You do?
I do.
I'm glad you're here. She's like, I love Candace. I love Giselle. And we are like, bash, 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 bash.
Sorry. I love her too. I just don't love her ways.
Yeah.
Okay, Natalia, you have the floor. Why do you love Giselle?
First of all, she's pretty. She has green eyes, and she understands the statement. She's doing her job, and like in reality TV show, one has to be the villain, and Giselle is the villain.
Oh wait, Natalia, you're fading out, sweetheart. Repeat what you said. You were fading out.
Can you hear me now?
Very faintly. Can you go closer to your mic or turn it up?
I can't hear her.
We can't hear you, Natalia. Get your mic back up. In the meantime, B, thank you so much for the super chat, sweetheart. She goes, I would take to heart a friend of mine showing someone I don't get on with my personal text. Yes, I agree. I would take that to heart too. So I'm not excusing Monique doing it, but I don't think in the moment she meant any harm. Again, I think if they had a conversation where Candace went to Monique and said, hey, you and I are really good friends. You know I don't really mess with Ashley like that. It hurt me when you showed us our personal text. Moving forward, whatever I send to you, I expect it to be private, and I will do the same. But that's not what she did. You know, she got all in her feelings all over the place, and she let Giselle play her. And I'm not saying Monique is innocent in this, because Monique also could have had the wherewithal once she realized how Candace was feeling to say, hey, girl, you know you're my friend. You know I got your back. I didn't mean anything by it. I got caught up in the conversation. I'm sorry. Going forward, whatever you send me will be left in confidence, and I won't show it to anybody else. So they both could have been more mature, and they both could have taken more accountability. So B, I agree with you, because I'm going to keep it 100% real. I would take it some kind of way too if my good friend was showing my personal messages to someone that they knew I didn't rock with. So B, I agree with you. Natalia, is your mic back better? Because we want to make sure you have a chance to be heard too.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you, sweetheart.
So I love Giselle because she's pretty, she has green eyes, and like in reality TV, like one person has to be the villain, has to be the manipulator, the part stirrer. So like Giselle is doing her job and doing her statement, even though it's below the belt. Somebody has to do it. If not Giselle, someone else. So
But do you think
that's why like
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
That's why like people attack her because she is the villain of the show. That like also like the same with Kenya Moore. She's the villain of Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's why she gets a lot of attack. So yeah.
Who do you think is worse, Kenya or Giselle? I think Giselle's.
Giselle.
I think Giselle. It's on a gut level, Giselle.
Yeah.
Giselle.
Taxes and
You can be the villain, but there also has to be a bottom to the petty, and there also has to be. I don't know what it is. You know what it is? I think that Kenya is more in on the joke. I think that Kenya is playing a villain. I think she does a wink and a nod, and then when they say action, she goes in and she does her thing. Giselle, I think, actually is a villain.
Yeah.
She's not playing one; she is one.
Right.
And I think, oh, and this is what I was thinking. I forgot who said something about it, but I sparked my thing. When it comes to why Karen and Giselle won't ever be friends again, is because Giselle really betrayed her on so many levels.
Yeah.
Just like and you see it happens across other franchises, like Lisa Rinna. What Lisa Rinna did to Denise Richards, that is something you can never come back from.
Yeah.
What Kyle Richards did to Lisa Vanderpump. It's like when you have these friendships for years, right? You have these friendships for years, and then someone betrays you on such a deep gut level, stabs you in the back multiple times, and then grins in your face and tries to gaslight you like you are crazy, like you're the crazy one for thinking that anything is wrong. And I think that is really the problem with it, where it's like they stab you in the back, they do all these things, and then when you have a reaction, they're like, well, what are you upset about? Oh, wow, you're just angry. Like it's like mind-blowing. But I think there's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's just gross.
Right.
So why is
go ahead and talk.
So like attacks people's husbands, but she doesn't want hers to be attacked?
Wait, what?
She always like attacking people's husbands.
Taking or attacking?
Attacking people's husbands.
Oh, Giselle.
But when it comes to her, Giselle always like attacking people's husbands, but when it comes to her, like she's
but that goes back to the hypocrisy we were talking about earlier. She's such a hypocrite. She thinks that she can have an opinion about everybody's marriage and about everybody's husband, but the moment you say one thing about her fake relationship for a storyline, she loses her damn mind. But it's just like, well, sweetheart, when you thought that Karen was making up that she lived in this place, you made Robin dress up as a pizza man and go to her house to put her on blast. When you thought Karen was not being honest about raised taxes, you got T-shirts made about that. So the fact that people don't think you're being honest about being in a relationship with Jamal, why are you surprised that they're questioning you about it? You question Ashley about Michael Darby being faithful and about the allegations that were against him, right? You question basically everybody on the show.
She seems to hate on everybody's husbands.
She really does.
Like, I'm trying to think of one.
Husband.
Yeah.
She wants a husband. That's it.
She does. And she wants to deflect from the fact that she doesn't have one. Because she's so unfulfilled in being single. That she wants to deflect. So it's like, don't look at me. Don't look at the fact that I don't have anyone. Don't look at the fact that I'm unhappy not having someone. Let's make sure that what we're talking about is everybody else. And that's proven by she literally says out of her own mouth, so are we not talking about Eddie? Or like, when are we going to talk about Eddie, right? She said it literally out of her own mouth instead of being like, let's talk about why I'm single. Because if I was on a reality show and I was single, I wouldn't be talking about somebody else's man. I would be like, I'm single. Let's go find a matchmaker. Let's go out. Let's do this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? I would be Ebony on the Real Housewives of New York. I would be Ebony on the Real House. I'd be like, girl, I am single. Let's find. Where's Devin? Let's get the matchmaker. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to mingle. Let's do this. The last thing I'm going to be worried about is somebody else's man or husband, because I'm trying to find me one. And I'm going to use this platform to find it. I'm not going to use this platform to tear anybody else down. But the difference is, I am okay with myself and I'm okay with who I am. And I know that a man does not define me. I know that I am whole and complete, happy and healthy, just being me. And I'm looking for a partner, not someone to complete me. And I think the problem is that Giselle feels so incomplete just on her own that when she sees completion in other, it bothers her. And she wants to tear it down.
And I think she does herself a disservice by acting like, okay, so she wants a man, but then she's being all kind of mean girlish on TV. So if people see this, like, how are you going to get a man if you're like being
Exactly. And of course, you never want to compare like the Black Housewives to Black Housewives. Like, I'm not comparing it based on race, but if you look at how Ebony carries herself on the Real Housewives of New York, she is single. She's, going to Devin Simone or Devin Simon, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She's going to a matchmaker. She's getting her girl Sonia to come with her, so it's going to be a good girlfriend day.
Yeah.
She's having joy. And, she's single and she's happy and she's enjoying herself and putting herself out there in a fun way. She's not like, oh, Lou, your deadbeat husband. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
She's like, I'm single, but I'm still happy.
Yeah.
And let's go have some fun. Let's go meet some good guys.
Yeah.
That is what I want. That is what Giselle should be doing. But instead, she's sitting stuff up there being like, let's talk about Eddie.
Boy.
And wasn't she?
Oh, go ahead, Natalia.
And wasn't she talking about like Robin and Wan's like saying like he doesn't want her, she has no respect for her, maybe because like since maybe like Robin and Wan like they're sort of happy, maybe she doesn't want to see her happy and like feeding her poison in her mind, like that man has no respect for you, doesn't want you, so they can be like they are lonely together, like I'm not alone.
Yeah, well, misery loves company. And I think another big reason why Giselle and Robin is so close, allegedly in my opinion, is because Giselle seems to me like a woman who was like, well, I don't mind if you do good, just don't do better than me. And I think she looks at Robin as being beneath her. So anytime someone is getting higher than her, she wants to tear them down. That's why she almost had a heart attack when Monique was just like, oh, I have 4 homes. She was like,
yes. Remember that?
Yes.
Remember that?
Exploded. You have 4 homes. Malfunction.
But you don't
that
have
was
a home.
Everything.
You don't have a home.
You don't have a home. She was like, oh no, I have 4.
That was everything.
It was classic.
I was like, and welcome to the show, Monique. She goes, oh no, I have 4.
I really wish she didn't leave. I wish she would have stayed. I really did.
Me too.
I really wish she didn't allow that situation to run her off.
Yeah.
Because I think like she was needed. Because, and then to be honest with you, her and Karen are really the ones that I saw like really Housewives of Potomac at the time, or Potomac, however you said.
Yeah,
but,
Potomac.
Yeah, but I understand why she did it, but I wish she would have stayed.
Yeah, really.
Me too. Even if for 1 more season, just round it out and to just really be like, just to round it all out. But I mean, I get why she left. I get it, the whole thing. Allegedly, people were saying Chris really wanted her to get off the show. But I'm excited for Mia. I actually really like Mia. I feel like
you think she's gonna gel with Giselle?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. No.
No. I think it's gonna be Giselle, Robin, and Candace versus the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And someone from the DMV that I love and adore thinks that too. So yeah.
Giselle doesn't even like Candace. I mean, the shade with she finally 48 years old. You're getting a house. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think.
But she's gonna use Candace again. Candace is a pawn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a pawn.
She is going to use Candace, just like I bet you something is this whole thing between Mia and Candace throwing lettuce I'm just curious to see what that all derived from. You know what I mean?
Something to do
I
with
do.
Giselle. You could probably bet your
Yeah,
last dollar on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh,
think that Mia is fluid? Because I was sitting at the table.
wait, what?
I say, do you guys think Mia is fluid? Because at the
Oh, fluid?
table, yeah, she kept making references when Wendy said her breast. Oh, I want to see them. Like little things she was saying. I don't know. I'm just asking.
I mean, I didn't pick up on anything, but to each their own, sweetie. We just had Pride Month, so do you all day. Yes. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. I forgot who brought it up, but someone said that what's her name? Wendy was saying that production edited out her saying everything that she did. I
Yeah,
don't believe that. I think Wendy's lying. I think that she's saying that now because what production actually did was edit her butt before and after, and then they showed the plastic surgeon wasn't just attending to her breast in the consultation. Remember, he went lower around her
you went
abdomen,
to her stomach too.
stomach
She
area.
had to have a liposuction or something.
Yeah.
Tummy tuck.
Exactly. So I think that she's saying, because that's what they always do. When something comes out they don't like, they always, the number one thing they say is, oh, editing. It was the way it was edited. That's not true. They can only edit what you give them. And what you gave them was saying multiple times, oh, I got my boobs done and some tweaks. Oh, I'll admit what I did, and then not say anything. And then you got super defensive when Mia asked you. That is what you said, Wendy. Stop trying to say it was editing, because if it was if you actually said it, the production would have shown it. Look what they did to Mia. They showed they let Mia's plastic surgery list fly, from her nose to her fillers to her lady vaginal rejuvenation.
Well, she wasn't embarrassed. She was honest. That's what I appreciated. She was like, and I'll have more.
And why would production edit that? Why would production gain from being like, okay, we don't want Wendy's butt stuff? Like, what would, like, you know? And Wendy had a whole thing of boobs. Like, she was just talking about her boobs the whole time. So, like, I don't buy it. Girl, please.
Listen, they knew what they were doing because they put that camera on that doctor when he was looking at her waistline talking about.
They did.
They knew.
Yes.
They knew. And that's why Wendy came out with this statement. Oh, they edited out when I said it. But no, they didn't. No, they didn't. They showed your butt before and after, and they did the production. They showed the doctor doing a consultation on your whole body because you got a whole body makeover, sweetheart. It wasn't boobs.
And I don't see the big deal. If you want to make your party over and you have the money.
So what?
I think the only problem with her, people are talking about her student loans and how she got money.
Allegedly.
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 Maybe that's why, you know. Yeah. It may be an Erica Jane situation. I can't let you guys know I just spent all this money.
Never thought of that.
Exactly. And I want to be very clear. I have no problem with plastic surgery. I have no problem with doing a nip and a tuck, a suck, and a this and a that. Like, one day, maybe, you know, I would want to do something too. Like, I don't know what, but like maybe one day. My issue with Wendy is, how are you trying to be half transparent? How are you going to have a cake with your tits on it, cupcakes with your nipples on it, a nude party, sending people, you know, a low-key, grainy sex.
And a 20-minute speech.
A 20-minute speech talking about my children.
My God.
I breastfed my children, and we were just feeding and pumping and pumping and feeding and pumping and feeding and feeding and pumping and pumping. My children. And I decided to say this. I got a boob job.
You know,
if you can see my face, oh God.
Wendy is like that though. She always goes on like, she's so extra. It's like, okay, girl,
so extra. and don't bring your children into this. Just say, you know what? I wanted to get a boob job and I got one. Like that to me is the only part of it. Don't be like, my children are free and we pumped and we sucked and we sucked and we pumped and they drank and they drank and they drank and they fed and they fed and they fed. Oh, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. No, sweetheart, no. You just wanted a boob job. That is okay.
She did a whole Declaration of Independence. Who was born 7 years ago? My forefathers brought to this continent.
Exhibit A, I had children. Exhibit B, I am a mother. Exhibit C, I am a mother and a wife. Exhibit D, I have 3 children. Like, it's just
You just needed a PowerPoint presentation for this whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
girl,
slide.
Wanda.
It's just like, Wendy, girl, just be like, pop the champagne. I got my boobs done. Let's rock with it and roll with it. Let's do some shots. Eat some cake. Have a good kiki night. That is what I would. That if she would have done that, I would have been wanting to rock with Wendy way more. If she just came out and was just like, ta-da! Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know.
Did the damn thing and stood in her power and stood in her
Come
truth.
on.
Because the thing is, quiet as kept, she looks great.
Yeah.
Like she does look really good. I don't like that her skin looks lighter. I don't know if that's makeup. I don't know if it's bleaching. I'm not going to put that out in the universe because I don't know. So allegedly, my opinion, I don't want to speak on someone doing that to their skin because clearly I don't know. I'm just saying what it looks like. It looks like there's something, I don't know if it's shading or makeup or whatever. But beside that, her hair is on point. Her boobs are popping. Her butt's popping. She got everything snatched tight and right. She looks beautiful.
Good for her. Good for her.
What takes away from it is this defensiveness and this peekaboo lies about the tweaks and the nips and tucks that you got and the blaming it on your children. It's just like, no, even if you do breastfeed for 5 years, who cares? Just say, I wanted to get my boobs done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Own it. Then I would have been like, yes, chick. Let's celebrate your boobs, celebrate your butt, celebrate the liposuction, celebrate your nose fillers and shades and all that stuff.
Come on.
Me the rose. And I would be kikiing and partying with you all night.
Yeah.
It's the weird half truth that makes it bizarre.
And
it's not how she actually did it. It's the way she's handling it.
And the defensiveness. And I love the way Mia came back like, yeah. I got this, I got that, I got that, I got that, I got, and okay, and what?
Yeah, and she was like, and I might get some more before the night is over. So what?
Come on.
Yes. I agree 100%. It's like, just own it. It's just like, we know that's not what your body physically looked like. You didn't have this silhouette 2.5 weeks ago before you went in for surgery. So
and Shady Productions showed it. They're like,
yes.
They're like before, after. And that's why she came out being like, no, they just edited it when no, Wendy, no. And that's what gets, Wendy is her own worst enemy because I don't think that she at her core is necessarily a bad person. Yeah. She just has these awkward and weird insecurities. Like she wants to be a pick-me with Giselle. And then she wants to get her body like Monique, but then go after Monique and then lie about what she did. And then she gets all defensive. It's just like, you literally sent us a message with you looking butt naked while dancing to some weird TikTok filter. You have a cake with your titties on it. You have cupcakes with your nipples on it. And you're doing a strip tease. But yet you want to come at me for asking me what you got done? Isn't that the point?
And you feed your babies the titty cupcakes.
Exactly. Isn't that the reason why we are all here tonight is to talk about your plastic surgery? Like that to me is what I don't understand. Like I wanted Wendy to be like, girl, I got my nose shaved. I got some liposuction. I got my butt lifted. I got my boobs done. And I'm looking really damn good. If she would have came in like that, I would have been like, okay, Wendy, I'm starting to feel you a little bit. Okay. I'm starting. And you know what? That's another thing, right? Remember when Candace was saying how people like Ashley more than they like her because of colorism? No, it's right. I don't think it's colorism at all. I think it's that yes, Ashley can be really messy and really shady, and she has said some really messed up things. But I also think that Candace doesn't own any of her stuff. Where I think Ashley puts all her stuff out there, where she's just like, yeah, Michael did this, Michael did that, this happened there. Like, it is what it is. My booty hole is broken, like, whatever. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she puts it out there in a way so it's almost like you have to respect that when someone just owns their stuff, whether it's good or bad. And then I also think it comes down to likability, because Candace doesn't take accountability for anything she says and does. And Ashley doesn't come for us. She doesn't come for the watchers or the bloggers. You know, when it's not in season, when the series isn't on, you don't see Ashley battling with people on Twitter. But you see Candace doing that. Candace wishes death on us and says evil things. And she's always, you know, her and her husband are always on Twitter with beefing with bloggers and YouTubers and watchers of the show and all of these things. So I don't think it has anything to do with color. I think, Candace, it has to do with your personality. So don't blame it on the color of your skin when it's really just your personality.
Well, a lot of people don't like Giselle. So
I think a lot of people don't like Giselle.
Yeah.
You're right. But I do think colorism does have some part in it, because that girl was off the chain. The first season, she's a different person these last couple of seasons. You're right. She takes ownership. What's her name? Ashley. But honey, Ashley wasn't the one to be messed up. Season 1, the way she would do people and the things she would say, but she got away with it. I do think, whether we said or not, just like Natalia just said about Giselle, oh, she's pretty. A lot of times we got to be honest. When people look a specific way or they have a softer look, they're more likable just based on the look, even though they may be nasty. You know what I mean? And I just think it has a part of that. Not 100%, but I do think that had some play with the differences in Ashley, how she got away with it.
I can't stand Ashley because of first season. I can't stand her. And even the joke at the end when she was like, so about the surgery down there that Mia.
Oh, I was not checking for her with that.
I was like, okay, like she gets messy, then she's like, oh, like righteous, and then she gets messy, like she's just back and forth. Hot mess. I'm sorry, I can't stand.
No.
I don't know why she was shocked.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, I think what Ashley said, basically alluding that Mia must have slept with a lot of people and that's why she had the surgery, I thought that was dead wrong. Especially as I'm not a mom, but Ashley's a mom and Mia's a mom.
Yeah.
It was because, what happens to the body during giving birth. And it's just like, actually, you were telling everyone how your booty hole got ripped, right? So your booty hole got ripped. You might need some booty hole reconstructive surgery. Are we like, oh, because people were going in the back door too much? You know what I mean? So it's like,
that's so sweet.
Oh, Dita Kwan Asakari, thank you so much for the super chat. She was such a beautiful queen. Love your channel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, you are a queen too, sweetheart. I do think that colorism plays a part with people giving Giselle a pass.
Mm-hmm.
I think because again, even like Natalia was saying, I was like, well, why do you like Giselle? You go, she's pretty and she has green eyes. Those were the first.
I hated that. I did not like that. Like that whole green eye thing. It's like, so
yeah. So
but it's a reality that happens.
It is a reality, but I think when it comes to Giselle, I do think people give her it's like she gets the pretty quote unquote girl pass, whether or not she's actually the fact that she has more European features, the lighter skin, the lighter hair, the greener eyes. People just assume they default to that as pretty or whatever it may be. So I do think that people make excuses for Giselle's behavior because of the way she looks.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to just Ashley versus Candace, not a bigger conversation about colorism in general, only to because Candace's tweet said that. She was like, oh, I wonder why people, whatever, she was blaming colorism on it. But when it comes to Ashley versus Candace, that particular situation, I don't think it's colorism. I do think it's how far Candace goes. I think that drama and being messy is a part of it. Did Ashley go too far at certain times? Sure. But she owned it. She apologized. And she's different now. There's difference in her. Of course, she does things here and there that we don't like. We just talked about that. But again, it's still a reality show. We still have to bring the drama. They still have to be shady and all that stuff. But I think overall, we've seen a different in Ashley's behavior. And again, Ashley has not gone to any viewer, blogger, or watcher where Candace wished death on that guy Kyle from the Black Socialites, knowing that he was I don't know if he was terminally ill, but he was chronically ill. He was. And he ended up passing away. And the fact that she knew he was sick and was wishing death on him and was like, you're one cheeseburger away from a heart attack or whatever she was saying.
Yeah.
Know someone is actually suffering and sick, and to publicly or privately wish death on them and meaning it from like a real way. To me, it's like, no, Candace, this is why people don't rock with you. Because I think that she's using colorism as a way to not take accountability. It's like, no, it's not me. It's not anything I say or do. It's because of my dark skin of colorism. That's why you're being mean to me. That's why you don't like me. That's why you're talking about me. That's why you're bashing me. It's not me. It's just another way for her to not take responsibility for the things that she says and does. Candace, it has nothing to do with your skin. You are a very, very beautiful girl, and no one can take that away from you.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody thinks that Candace isn't beautiful because of the color of her skin. I've never seen anybody say that. It's never like, stop it. Like, you've won pageants, like, right? So it's like, stop it. You know that you are a very, very beautiful girl.
I think was more so Candace, because like, okay, if I had to pick over Ashley or Candace, I'm not crazy about Ashley either, but she has a bit of like, she puts herself out there. Candace to me is a bit more pageanty, like, in my opinion. Like, and anyway, and like, I don't know, like, she comes off a little faker to me, and she can be really mean. And the blogger thing, and when she goes on her lives and all that, it's like she's just hardcore. Like, and also the way
she's like a spoiled child. That's what she's like, a spoiled, rotten child.
Yeah. And then he talks to her, yells at her husband. Remember her second season, she's screaming at him. I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy about him either, but like, come on camera, like, at least try to
at least pretend. Like, at least try. Like, don't emasculate this man all the way down.
Like,
come on. And the thing is, I think that Candace expects everyone to coddle her the way her mother does. Like, she hasn't realized that the real world operates differently. Everyone isn't going to make excuses for you and to coddle you and to cater to you in the real world. Like, that's not how it works. In the real world, you have to show up, you have to be responsible for who you are and what you say, and you will be held accountable for it, whether you like it or not. And then she lashes out when she doesn't like it.
And she goes all hard. And then the moment something happens, she's like, but she goes hard. And then she cries. And it's like, girl.
Okay, so our sweet B is saying, Candace apologized. And thank you so much for the super chat, B. I appreciate you. She goes, Candace apologized several times last season and still got bashed. Literally. Yeah, she didn't get bashed literally by Monique. And she's apologized, but where is the changed behavior? Like, that you can apologize to the cows come home, but until you change your behavior, it doesn't really matter. And Monique and Candace and Chris only a couple weeks ago was going at it against the blogger Up and Adam because he interviewed Fallon.
Really?
Was being like, oh, he's bad, he's a liar, don't trust him, run Fallon. Yeah.
Up and Adam?
Like,
oh my God.
Exactly. How do you have a problem with sweet Up and Adam, who is just like so nice and so great and so gracious? So they were going after Up and Adam, and I will tell you why I think they were. This is why. I think when Candace got mollywopped by Monique and she was crying and doing the tissues and playing the victim.
Oh, he was not on her side.
He interviewed her, but he stayed very neutral. He didn't coddle, like, exactly what we were saying. He didn't coddle her. He didn't baby her. It was very neutral, and he asked the questions that he needed to ask, and that was it. They had no issue with the interview then, did they? Because if you thought he lied on you, if you thought he did such a horrible job, why is it taking you over a year to say something? But then when Up and Adam got the Fallon interview and he, rented out this beautiful studio for her, it was really her time. You could see her crying and she had the tissues and she was very sympathetic. So I think that Candace got pissed off because Up and Adam gave Fallon that sympathetic moment that she wanted when she was going through the Monique fight. Oh, and I think in Candace's mind, she was like, well, how come you're, coddling Fallon, but you didn't coddle me? Oh, no. And now all of a sudden you have a problem with Adam. Candace, from everything we've seen about you, you pop off in every moment. I don't see Up and Adam doing something that you didn't like in a moment and you being like, let me just let this go for a whole year and say nothing. So to me, it doesn't add up.
Did she really pop off on him? Did she really pop
on Twitter, Chris, her husband, Chris was saying like,
I think her husband did, right?
It was her husband, but it was like on her behalf.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So her husband, Chris, was saying like, oh, Up and Adam like lied in an interview or he said something or tried to trip my wife up or something he was saying along those lines. Allegedly, I don't remember, paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly what it was. But something along those lines coming after Up and Adam and being like, oh, Fallon, watch out, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, where was this energy for Adam after that interview you did? You literally waited a year before you had a problem with him? I don't believe that. I think you made up this problem because you wanted a moment and because you're jealous that Fallon got to be sympathetic and have the tissues and cry and have people care about, her feelings being hurt. When you felt that's the position you should have had when Monique mollywopped you. And to me,
I do recall, though, in Candace's defense, I do recall last season when she had been popping off and all of that stuff, she started going to some kind of counseling or something because she did started changing and trying to be more whatever and softer and conscious. Like she did start that behavior. But whatever happened at that table that night, it just went left so fast. It was a split minute of saying the wrong thing and it went left. But she did started working on herself. I remember that. Now, it didn't get to go far because, that incident happened and then everything just, went out the window. But to her defense, I do recall that. She tried. So,
wasn't it during that trying time that she was wishing death on Kyle and other people?
Now, I don't remember when she did that. I heard that from the blogs after the guy died and the blogs started talking about it. But I didn't.
So, I don't remember the timeline. Yeah, I don't remember that timeline either, but who knows? I mean, it's a lot. But I still think it's fishy, though. I still think it's fishy that Chris and Candace had no issue at all with Up and Adam's interview until he did one with Fallon. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, even if Candace was trying to be kumbaya, I just don't believe it.
I think that something with them may have fallen out when he was on Sherelle's World and he made some comment about her on that fight, Up and Adam. He was one of the panelists on that show. The other blogger, Sherelle. He was one of the panelists, and I think he was saying some stuff about her negatively, like he wasn't taking her side, he was taking Monique's side or something when they were having that discussion about Candace and the fight and all of that on that channel. I think that's why she got mad at Adam. Her and her husband got an issue with Adam. I don't think it had nothing to do with their actual interview, her actual interview with him. She's like a kid, you say something about me, I get mad, I throw a stone back.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I believe that. I believe that because what you're saying tracks with exactly how I feel. I don't think it had anything to do with the actual interview. I think they were just saying that as a way to try and discredit him because they didn't like what he said. But to be fair, Candace had tweeted some homophobic tweets in her past. She had come out and said something. I think she did apologize. It was something like if I offended someone or I've grown or something like that. But it's like, and Adam is part of the LGBT community. You know, he has his fiance who is a male. So it goes to that too. It's just like, well, you offended the community that he is a part of. Like, even though you apologized, maybe he's not so quick to defend you because you literally said homophobic tweets about his community. I know that if I was interviewing someone who had said some racist tweets in the past, and even if they came out and said, I apologize for my tweets, I'm still feeling some type of way about you. I am. I'm sorry. Like, you can apologize or not, but if you say some racist stuff,
you don't
I'm gonna feel some type of way about you. That it's just how it is. You can take accountability and you can apologize, but I'm never gonna look at you the same. I'm just not. Yeah. So don't expect me to defend or to not say my piece if I think you did something wrong when you went and bashed the community that I'm part of. Yeah. And she never had any consequences for that. I mean, she apologized, which is great, but
she got dragged. She got dragged.
She always gets dragged for everything because it's so draggable.
Yeah, when it came out, she did get it, which she should have gotten it. She should have gotten it, like anybody who does anything. I just think that we need to we don't give people enough grace. I don't think when they do make mistakes and they try to correct it. When I say we, I'm saying people in general. Mm-hmm. Now it's like it's really dangerous because we don't allow for people to make mistakes or be imperfect or try to get like once they did that thing that came across, like if you was a racist and you said racist thing, you change your heart or you ask for forgiveness or you apologize. That's the word. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we have a hard time. It's just like cancel, forget about them. Like that's all we see. Like this is this new era that we're in. Like we don't give people grace to get it back, to get it right. You know, to apologize, to try to make a difference. I don't know if that's just a problem I see that we do. It makes me afraid sometimes to speak my mind when I want to say something different than what I think someone else thinks. Because they come at you like on an attack if you don't agree or your opinion is different or they don't like what you say. Like, why can't we just be like have a difference of opinion and still respecting? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just something I wanted to say.
Yeah.
But wishing death on people, it's hard to forget.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, before I log off, because I have to.
Yeah, we've been here for a while, so we can wrap it up.
Okay, just one last thing. I know it's like petty and little detail. The cupcakes really creep me out. Like giving them to the kids and be like, "What is that?" That really creeped me out. And I don't believe that the kids didn't know what that was. They were breastfed. They know what breasts are.
I think the kids didn't know because they were like smelling it, and I was just like, "Please don't figure this out." But it was cringy. It was cringeworthy, totally cringeworthy.
You don't think they knew? No.
Yeah. I hope they didn't. Like, I'm eating mommy. Play tit.
Wendy's funny. She's okay. It was so nice being here. Okay.
Yay, thank everybody. You so much.
I'm leaving too. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. And I also want to see, I've been seeing some things in the chat. I do want to acknowledge some people in the chat are Team Candace, and some people are not feeling Monique. They think that she shouldn't have put her hands on anybody and all of this stuff. And so I would just say to that, yes, nobody should put their hands on anybody else. And just because we can understand why someone did something, that doesn't mean that we are excusing their actions. You know, we can have the ability to objectively look at a situation and understand the mechanics behind it, understand the human drivers behind it, understand why someone did something. Just because you can understand the why doesn't mean that you're justifying it. So I want to make that very, very clear. We're not justifying anybody putting their hands on anybody else. We're just dissecting why that situation got to that level. So I just want to be very clear that we are not by any means condoning violence. Absolutely, absolutely not. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, we have been on here for almost 2.5 hours, so we are gonna call it a night. Sharon Redmond, I was not falling asleep.
Bye.
The StreamYard gets very what do you call it? Like it's delayed a little bit. So that was really funny. I'm not falling asleep though. That's actually really funny. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat before we wrap up. So Brown Skin Lady is saying, I'm team nobody. I call it like I see it. Yes. Jaja, hey Jaja L. She goes, can we get back to the premiere? Oh, we did the premiere. Watch the replay. Okay, we talked about the everything. So I hope we covered everything you wanted us to cover, Jaja. I'm sorry if we didn't. Monique Toolbox says, I'm team Monica. Do you mean team Monique? Jade MC2 says, great panel. Thank you so much. I know, I love those girls calling in. Please call in more often. Sharon Redmond says, bump that. She had that smack coming. Oh, Bo Sandy says, very true. Brown Skin Lady 81 says, all Impefas got more money than me. Okay. B says, hence they should all equally get that work. At Can I Get a Witness? I am uncomfortable with all this grace being given to Monique, who lied and hit someone, then lied again. Yes, B, I respect your position, and I understand what you're saying about Monique. So yes. Ray Day's Beauty Lockout says, however, if you were in her shoes, you probably would have done the same darn thing. Queen Third Eye says film with a smiley face. Monique Tolbach says hi. B says the issue is not the action, it's the cover-up that followed. Can I Get a Witness says, at B, I am not on a team and not a group thinker. Wrong is wrong. Tan J says, at Monique controls using Chris's money. If you call her out, she aims to destroy. Jade MC says, great show, Candy Canes. Thank you so much. Yes. At Brown Skin Lady says, at B, 100. Young Rich Skinny says, yes, she hasn't learned wide body ASS. I can't get over that. Yes, that is true. I called a pregnant lady a whole wide body ASS. So you're right. She hasn't learned, and she's just going for people's jugular and going below the belt 100%. That's what you guys are saying. Thank you so much, Joanne. She goes, hit that like for our girl Candy. That's right. If you've had fun, if you liked our Kiki, again, it's all playful. It is all in fun, and it's all in love. So, and it's all alleged and for entertainment purposes. So, if anything was said that you took offense to, I apologize. No offense was meant at all. So be sure to like and subscribe and to share. Yes. Andrew Mack says, Monique wasn't emotionally equipped to be on the show. Fight with your words and intellect, not your hands. Sharon Redmond says, can we remember she thought Candace hit her when it was actually Gizzard? Brown Skin Lady says, at Monique, IKYFL. And then she's laughing. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, guys. Can I Get When this says, at Candy Washington? Thank you for the lovely recap. You are so welcome, sweetheart. Young Rich says, Monique didn't fight till 4 seasons later. Brown Skin Lady says, bye, everyone. Queen That I says, talk about your film, Candy. Oh, yes. So my film is appropriately called Narcissist, because you guys know I know all about narcissism. It's available on Amazon Prime Video and on SoFi TV. I executive produce it, I wrote it, and I star in it. So if you have Amazon Prime and you want to watch it, it is called Narcissist. There's a link to it in the description box as well. So thank you so much. Brown Skin Lady says, oh, IKF is, I know you're, effing lying. Brown Skin Lady 81. What are we effing lying about? I'm confused, but let me know. Okay, Sharon Redmond says, tell them about your movie. Oh, I just did. It's called Narcissist. It's available on Amazon Prime and SoFi TV. Tangy says, thank you, Candy. You are so welcome, sweetheart. Monique Bay says, great live. Yes, thank you so much, B. Thank you so much, B. And I also want to say this. B, I appreciate you having a different view. I understand that you, are more, not, I don't want to say teams, but you understood more of Candace's perspective, and you had a different perspective when it came to Monique. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for providing your different perspective. It is welcomed here. So anyone who was watching, anyone who is a part of the live, and you have a different opinion, you have a different take, you have a different point of view, it is welcomed here. You do not have to agree with me. And you can feel free to give me some pushback. If you don't agree with my opinion, we can talk about it. So thank you, B, for having a different opinion and sticking to your guns in a respectful way. So I appreciate that. I'll let you guys see what we're saying. Queen Third Eye says, congrats on your film Narcissist. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, yes. Brown Skin Lady says, no, not you, Boop. I was explaining what IK stood for. Oh, thank you. I was like, I don't know, but let me know. We can talk about it. Thank you, Brown Skin Lady. I appreciate that. Beautiful. Hey, Young Rich. Mocha Deluxe says, another great recap. Thank you so much. Jade MC says, thanks, Candy. Hey, Morgan's Musing. Yes, we understand what the acronym stands for now. Thank you, sweetheart. Joanne, don't let them trolls upset you, Candy. You do a wonderful job and the best in my opinion. Oh, thank you so much, Joanne. Yes, and I'm not upset. I'm excited. I love you, Candy Canes. I love everyone who comes in and participates, and we have a good kiki. And we are going to keep this train going. We're just going to continue to build our Candy Cane community. We're going to come together and have our lives and have a good kiki and a laugh, share our opinions. Whether we agree or disagree, we are going to have a great time. And I love you guys. I love all of you. Sunny T says, ignore the trolls, Candy. You are a breath of fresh air. Exactly. Yes, yes, yes. Sharon says, bye, Candy. Mwah. Bye, Sharon. Thank you for coming through. That's right. So thank all of you guys. We have been on here for 2.5 hours, so I'm going to wrap it up. But yeah, that was our review and kiki about the premiere episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac season 6, and we'll be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock to do another recap of another show. And let me know what self-care session you want this week. Is there anything about health or wellness, mental issues or relationships that you want us to talk about? We need to schedule another self-care session. So let me know what you guys want. And again, thank all of you. I thank you all for showing up and spending this time with me. Be sure to like and subscribe. And if you're watching the replay, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified when we go live, and you can join us live for the kiki that we're doing. Yes, yes, yes. Young Rich says, can we talk about Sheree tomorrow as well? Yes, we can talk about Sheree. I just want to make sure I get all my facts straight with that one, Young Rich, because that seems like a doozy, and I don't want to say anything that is not right when it comes to that. Yes, yes, yes. Well, Sandy says, good night, everybody. Queen Third Eye says, have a great evening, sunshine. You too, sweetheart. Hey, beautiful brown skin lady 81. She goes, I know that's right. Differing opinions shouldn't be an issue. It's not. Exactly. Differing opinions is not an issue. We can all come here and we can all have different point of view and different opinions and still leave happy and as a community and have fun. Trust me, my opinion, even though it's the candy shop, my opinion is not the authority. It's literally just an opinion. And all of our opinions are equally right and equally okay to talk about. As long as we all stay respectful, we're all equal. That's how I look at it. Okay, you guys. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Mwah. Love you. Have a good night. Subscribe and share. I'll see you guys tomorrow, Candy Canes. Hit that notification bell. I love you.